And welcome inside the WBGU studio here in the Colleen Center, Bowling Green, Ohio. My name's Sam Bork, joined today with Jacob Kopaz and Kevin Hutchinson here for the Falcon Media Sports Network pre-game show for tonight's matchup. We have the Bowling Green Falcons taking on the Western Michigan Broncos in another Mid-American Conference matchup here at the Strauss Center tonight. So, Jacob, Kevin, how are you guys doing tonight? Good to have you here.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself, Kevin?
Yeah, I'm doing great, guys. Happy to be here. Excited to talk about some basketball.
Yeah, of course. So we are nearing the end of the regular season. After this game, only 4 games left remaining in this Bowling Green schedule, and they are in a little bit of a tough spot here. They are sitting currently at 8th in the conference standings. That would be good enough to get them into the conference tournament if the season ended today, but you would have to go up against Ball State, which they just came off playing down over in Ball State, lost pretty bad over there. So looking to bounce back here tonight. We will certainly see how they will do. We have over in the Strauss Center, we have Lucas Kleinmeyer and Carter Leonard who will be on the call tonight. We'll send it out there in just a bit, but right now we're just going to take a real quick break and then come back and we will discuss all about this matchup coming here tonight. Keep it right here. You're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM.
Mark Zaborny here, host of WBGU FM's Jazz Unlimited. Listen to Jazz weekdays from 9 a.m. until noon with special live in-studio editions every Wednesday. I'll spin classic jazz standards and the latest jazz releases. That's Jazz Unlimited, weekdays from 9 until noon on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Back here in the WBGU studio for the Falcon Media Sports Network pregame show. I'm Sam Bork alongside Kevin Hutchinson and Jacob Kopaz. So, guys, looking at this Bowling Green team, losers of 3 of their last 5. They got a win in their MAC Sunbelt Challenge against Coastal Carolina, and they beat the last place Buffalo squad. But it's been a little bit of a struggle so far with this team. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts on what they need to really do, not only to win against Western Michigan tonight, but for the rest of this schedule as we near the end of the regular season.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say this team is kind of in dire straits right now. Only 4 more games after tonight, currently 8th in the MAC, and as you said, only 8 spots in that postseason MAC tournament. So BG really has to be on point. And this Western Michigan team, they're only 10th in the MAC. They're dead last in the MAC in points per game with just 56 points per game. BG is averaging 70.4 points per game. So this is a must-win game, especially since you have Ball State coming up next.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. I mean, you just came off of the Ball State game, actually. So that wasn't a bad game for the Falcons, in all honesty. I mean, you're going up against the number 1 school in the MAC, and you only lose by around 15, I believe. So
yeah, Jacob, that was I meant to say I meant to say just coming off of that game, Toledo is next, but I do get your point. That was a tough game for the Falcons.
Yeah, and also just going into it, I mean, like you said about how they're one of the Western Michigan, that being one of the lowest scoring teams in the MAC, they don't really get much scoring from their bench players. So, I mean, you'd want to look to, for the Falcons, get like Janiah Bland-Fitzpatrick going, maybe some of your other bench players down the lineup who can really just start contributing, and maybe you get a couple more scores into the double-digit point total.
Yeah, and you mentioned Janiah Bland-Fitzpatrick, who had a really great game against Coastal Carolina. Something we don't really see a whole lot from her. So, yeah, you want to really count on your bench players. You really want scoring from all areas of your teams because that really helps you when you come together as a team and you're able to find points from pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's going to be the key, is not needing Paige Kohler to do everything for this Falcon team. I mean, she leads the team with 363 points on the season, and she usually is the number one option, but you don't want her to be carrying the entire weight, because that's just not really sustainable, especially with how important these games are.
Yeah, and adding on to that, I believe it's also going to be crucial for the Falcons if they keep down the turnovers. As last game, Western Michigan, they actually forced a decent amount of turnovers, but they didn't capitalize on them too well. So even though they're still not great at capitalizing them, you had a big struggle against Buffalo last game. They were able to capitalize on a lot of the turnovers that you gave them. So you just want to try to keep that number maybe around 10. I mean, you'd want to keep it around 0 if you can, but you just want to keep that number lower, and hopefully you can get out to a bigger lead against this weaker Western Michigan team.
Yeah, and you mentioned turnovers, and who better at forcing turnovers than Janaea Donahue, who is currently right now 9 steals away from setting the all-time record. So history is being chased by her, and she has been just simply phenomenal, really. I mean, she had a little bit of an injury scare against Buffalo, came out for most of that second half, but was able to come back against Ball State, and she should be much better coming into this Western Michigan game. But now I want to pivot over to Western Michigan. You know, we talked about them a little bit. Currently dead last in the MAC in scoring. Certainly a favorable matchup for the Falcons coming in to get another win. But what do you want to see out of Western Michigan to be able to come out with a pretty, I don't know if I would say like an upset victory, but you know, your backs are pretty much against the ropes against this Falcon squad. So what do you want to see from them?
Yeah, so, I mean, for the Western Michigan, they're actually pretty good beyond the arc. They're a good shooting team. They do have 5 players who have made at least 20 3-pointers this season. So maybe you'd like to see some of those players contribute. You know, you want to get points from all around your lineup. And for Western Michigan, they're probably also going to be looking to get shots from, like I said, outside the arc, because they're not a bad shooting team. They want to get off to a quick start, and, I mean, unlike the other games, you probably want to get your bench rolling a little bit more. I know they really rely on, like, their top 3 players, Allie Clarkson, Kaylee Starks, and Niall Magura-Orbe. And, I mean, other than that, they don't really have much depth in their scoring. So if you want to win as Western Michigan, you're going to need to rely on more than those top 3 players.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a good point. I mean, this is a team that's 3-9 on the road. This is going to be their 13th road game of the season. So I do agree you want to use that bench a lot. But as you mentioned, Kaylee Starks, one of their star players, she leads the Broncos with 299 points on the season. She's right near that 300-point mark. I think if she can have a good night, that's going to be huge. And especially if you're Western Michigan, you got to play defense and force turnovers. You are the lowest scoring team in the MAC, so you got to hold BG to a low scoring margin, or this could get ugly pretty fast.
Yeah, and you look at this Western Michigan team, I mean, their last 2 games were actually pretty close against some pretty top teams. You know, you had Miami and Central Michigan. You only lost by 5 to the Redhawks and then 3 to the Chippewas. So this team, I mean, they do look pretty scary sometimes, that's for sure. So, you know, you definitely don't want to overlook this team at all if you're the Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that completely. And even if you look to the game before that against Ohio University, they kind of got killed in that game. It was a very low-scoring affair for Western Michigan. But they do a decent job at keeping the better teams at bay. In most of their games, they keep the other team from scoring around 60, 70 points. And by doing that, they're able to keep it close, even being one of the lesser-scoring teams in the MAC.
Yeah, that is going to be crucial for Western Michigan. They're sort of middle of the pack, 7th in the conference in total defense. They're going to have to play really sort of a level up from what they're used to doing. But really, this is a game where if you're BG, this is still absolutely crucial. I mean, if you can't beat a team that's 10th in the MAC and lowest in the MAC in scoring, there isn't much confidence about your ability against, you know, Toledo, Ohio, those teams you're going to finish up the season playing against.
Yeah, like you said, yeah, with this upcoming matchups, these teams have already gotten the better of the Falcons so far, so earlier in the season, so you're definitely looking to get some revenge on those teams, but you got to start here with Western Michigan. This will be a huge victory if they're able to come away with it. So we're going to take another quick break, and then we're going to send it out to the Strauss Center where Lucas Kleinmeyer and Carter Leonard will give their thoughts on the matchup. So keep it right here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Ever heard of Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcasts on Falcon Radio or WBGU 88.1 FM but don't know where to listen? Well, set down the radio, pick up your phone, and go to bgfalconmedia.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to stream Falcon Radio and WBGU 88.1 FM for all broadcasts.
Is the door locked?
All right, and back here in the WBGU studio, let's send it out to the Stroh Center where Lucas Kleinmeyer and Carter Leonard are there for the call. How's it going out there, guys?
Yeah, thanks, Sam. Thanks, Jacob. Thanks, Kevin. Good stuff. Just about under 13 minutes here before tip-off here at the Stroh Center, and Carter and I were talking about a little bit before we got on the air and throughout the week is there's not really a whole lot of games for Bowling Green left that you can really count as automatic wins. You have Western Michigan, and then you have your rivals Toledo Saturday, Ohio and Central. Those are three straight teams that got the best of you earlier this season. And then you close out the year at NIU, a team you did beat. But tonight is just important for the sake of the fact that you better win, because if you don't, you might be looking on the outside looking in when you get in the MAC tournament.
Absolutely, Lucas. And I think for Bowling Green, you kind of have to go in with that 1-0 mentality. You mentioned how previous opponents or previous times that these teams that you did mention have faced each other, they've gotten the best of Bowling Green. But you got to put that in the past behind you now. You got to look forward now and have that mentality. And I think Fred Schmiel and the group realize that to their fullest extent. Yeah,
they're coming off that road loss against Ball State. That's a team that's top of the Mid-American Conference standings. But, Carter, for you, if you're Bowling Green, you're coming against a Western Michigan team. They talked about in the studio, they're not a great offensive shooting team. In fact, they're the worst in the MAC. What kind of things are you looking for this team to do, whether individually or collectively, to get a second win over the Broncos this evening?
I think it's just taking advantage of every team in front of you. I believe it was Kevin who mentioned it in the pregame show. Western Michigan ranks dead last in overall scoring, averaging only 56 points a game, which ranks 13th. But for Bowling Green, you definitely want to take advantage of this game, against a struggling opponent. But also mentioned in the pregame show, Western Michigan, their last two games, which were both on the road, you had a 60-55 loss against Miami, and then a 70-67 loss against Central Michigan. While it did result in losses for the Broncos, that doesn't necessarily mean that they can't keep games close. So I think it's just really about staying on your toes tonight if you're Fred Schmiel and the Orange and Brown. And I think getting off to a quick start is definitely going to be very, very crucial and taking advantage of against a struggling team like Western Michigan. But Western Michigan does have some really solid players on their team. They mentioned earlier about Kaylee Starks, averaging 30.7 minutes a game, leads the team in both points and steals. So if you're able to contain her on the defensive side of the ball, I think Bowling Green could definitely have a runaway night, but you have to go out there and get it done.
You absolutely do, indeed, and I don't think it's any secret how big Paige Kohler needs to have another big night. 8 threes in her last 2 games, but also had a career-high 26 last week against Buffalo. But all good things there, Carter. Just about 10 minutes here from tip-off. Sam and Kevin and Jacob will send it back over you guys at WBG 88.1 Studios in the Cooling Center.
All right, thank you, Lucas and Carter, for that. We're just going to take another quick break here and come back, and our analysts here will give some of their key points they want to talk about for tonight's matchup. So we'll keep it right here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Welcome back to the WBGU studios here at the Colleen Center in Bowling Green, Ohio. Sam Bork here with Jacob Topaz and Kevin Hutchinson. So, guys, for this matchup tonight, what are some key points that you want to look for in this matchup?
Oh, yeah, to start, I think you want to make sure you protect the Stroh. I mean, the BGSU women's basketball team is 9-3 at home this season, so you'd like to see them make it 10-3. And, I mean, you're going to have the fans behind you this game. This is a weaker Western Michigan team. All signs are pointing to an easier win for the Falcons, but you're still going to have to put the work in, and you're still going to have to work your hardest, and then you can get a good win out of this.
For sure. I think another big key for BG, is going to be getting activated from beyond the arc. Bowling Green is 4th in the MAC in 3-point field goals made with 182 total on the season. I think that if you can get, Paige Kohler, Lauren Gherkin, Jasmine Fern, if you can get them hot from 3, that's, especially early in this game, that's going to be a big deal.
Yeah, and to add on to that, I also think you want to keep up the pace of play. As like we mentioned before, Western Michigan is one of the lowest scoring teams in the MAC. So if you can really get going, like Kevin was alluding to, get some 3 points made, you can probably get out to a big lead early and then try to protect it for the rest of the game.
For sure, and I think maybe a takeaway for Western Michigan, or something they're going to have to focus on, getting points in transition, going into this game, only averaging 56 points per game. You want to try to get, some fast break points, produce some turnovers, and capitalize on them. I think if Western Michigan fails to do that, it might be a long night.
Yeah, so here at the Stroh Center, where like you said, 9-3, and the Stroh doing a Blackout the Stroh promotion here. So should be some great vibes over there at the Stroh for this matchup. So keeping on the pace of that, we have a busy slate of games here around the MAC in the women's basketball. Ball State, the number 1 team, taking on the last team in the conference, Buffalo. About what do you expect there? 41-27 nearing halftime there in favor of Ball State. Close one here. Ohio and Akron going into halftime. Ohio holding only a 2-point lead in Akron, 32-30. So should be an interesting one there. We'll certainly keep a lookout for that. And Toledo and Massachusetts are in halftime as well. Toledo's up 26-19. So another kind of big time swing there. I mean, if Massachusetts loses, that's another top team in the MAC that could go down. And then also coming up here at 7 o'clock, we have Central Michigan and Miami of Ohio, and then Northern Illinois and Kent State will round out this action of MAC women's basketball. So a lot of implications going on here. A lot of good matchups to look out for. So we'll keep you updated on that as they continue and as they go final. But keeping it up with, around Bowling Green, a big matchup coming up for the Falcons on Friday in men's basketball, taking on the current number 22 ranked team in the country, the Miami of Ohio Redhawks, undefeated, 26-0 right now, have just been on a crazy run there. So gonna be a one to watch out for. I will be on the call or in the studio for that one. So keep it on Falcon Radio for that one. And then you have hockey taking on Minnesota State, another big series for Bowling Green there at the Slater Family Ice Arena. That one will be at 7:07 p.m. And then baseball in full swing, taking on Western Carolina at 4 o'clock p.m. there. You got women's tennis going over to Youngstown, taking on Youngstown State. You got softball taking on Eastern Tennessee State. You got women's golf taking on Western Michigan. You got track. Just so many things going on right now. It's a great time for Falcon sports here as we get closer to the springtime. And obviously, like the weather outside, it was a great day today in the 60s. Everybody outside enjoying the weather. So lots of great times here in Bowling Green right now. A very busy slate of athletics. So we're going to take another break here and come back, and we'll look at, the real just players that we want to look out for, and any final thoughts here as we get closer to tip-off. So keep it right here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BG Falcon Media is an organization encompassing student media organizations at Bowling Green State University. BG24 is the video component of Falcon Media that creates a weekly live newscast every Tuesday. All videos and live streams can be found on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel and website, or BG24's Twitter account. BG Falcon Media, empowering students with creative freedom by exploring technologies and focusing on audience engagement and service to our communities.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Back here in the WBGU studio, here in the Colleen Center, Bowling Green, Ohio. Sam Bork here with Jacob Kopaz and Kevin Hutchinson. So, guys, we still have a little bit of ways away, about 5 more minutes here before tip-off. So, real quick, just go over we talked about the players, obviously, but who do you guys see having a big game here for either team, to be the difference maker?
Yeah, well, I think for Bowling Green, it's a pretty textbook answer, but you're going to want to be looking for Paige Kohler. I mean, her contribution for 4 quarters is going to be huge. I think someone else you're going to want to look at is Janaea Donahue. She's second on the team with 124 rebounds and is a solid scorer, so very much a dependable two-way player. I think you want her to make big contributions. I think for Western Michigan, once again, Kaylee Starks, you want her to be scoring and you want her to be active. I think also Demaja Bold, she leads the Broncos with total rebounds. She has 111 rebounds on the season. So her getting in the paint, crashing the boards is going to be a big deal for this Western Michigan team.
Yeah, and going back to BGSU, I really agree with the Janaea Donahue looking out for her for the player of the game, because she's only 9 steals away from the single season record, so we could really be watching something truly remarkable in BGSU history. And I also wanted to talk about Janiah Bland Fitzpatrick, because since this Western Michigan team is so low scoring, maybe you want to get Janiah out there, hope she has a game similar to the Coastal Carolina game. She's getting out there, getting some points, and if she really starts getting going, I think the Falcons could run away with this game easily.
Yeah, for sure. That Coastal Carolina game was pretty amazing. Janiah Bland Fitzpatrick coming out in the second half, 19 points in the second half, didn't even attempt a three-point shot. She just dominated in the paint, led the Falcons to a win. Maybe a late game surge from her could happen again tonight. We'll have to see.
We certainly will, and I think that'll definitely be a big thing to look for is the paint battle and the rebounding, because I think that's a lot of what alludes to the success of winning a game. If you're getting your rebounds, if you're limiting second chance points and then getting second chance points on your own end, that is a really big takeaway. And in the final score, final box score. So, so we're gonna take another break here. Come back and we will get it back to the Stroh Center. So keep it right here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Falcon Communications is the student-run public relations firm of BGSU Public Relations Student Society of America and BG Falcon Media. Those who join the firm create social media and feature story content for the BG News, BG24, WBGU FM, and the Bowling Green Radio Sports Organization. For each Falcon Media brand, Falcon Communication members help coordinate special events and create strategies for how to best market those events to the university community.
Bowling Green women's tennis stays on the road, traveling to Cleveland State to battle the Vikings on Sunday, February 22nd at 10 a.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Charlotte Beauvais will have a recap of the match available on bgfalconmedia.com, your home for all BGSU athletics, news, and updates.
Beskid, BGSU radio faculty advisor. You can catch all the Falcon Media Sports Network broadcasts on our 2 stations, WBGU 88.1 FM and Falcon Radio, which can both be found on bgfalconmedia.com. I Ziggy.
Ever heard of Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcasts on Falcon Radio or WBGU 88.1 FM but don't know where to listen? Well, set down the radio, pick up your phone, and go to bgfalconmedia.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to stream Falcon Radio and WBGU 88.1 FM for all broadcasts.
All right, back here in the WBGU studio, we are ready to send it out to the Stroh Center where Lucas Kleinmeyer and Carter Leonard are waiting. So take it away, guys.
Thanks, Sam. We have starting fives for both Bowling Green and Western Michigan. The Falcons and the Broncos tangling for the second time this season. Carter, let's start with the away side, Western Michigan. Here for first-year head coach and BGSU Hall of Famer Kate Ochter, Deanna Richardson, Allie Carlson, Kylie Starks, Ariana Wilkes, and Nilai Mukaira, junior guard from Spain. Runs up the starting five for head coach Ochter.
Yeah, and for the Bowling Green starting lineup, you have Kaya Wood starting at the guard position. You also have Paige Kohler, the leading scorer for the Falcons, of course. Taya Ellis at the forward spot. You also have Jasmine Fern alongside her. And rounding out the starting lineup is Jonea Donahue, which, as we mentioned before, Lucas, 9 steals away from the regular season record of all time for Bowling Green.
Well, also right now she's averaging 4 steals a game, which is the best in the Mid-American Conference. It would be the best for steals per game in a single season in program history for Bowling Green if she keeps it up. And in order to do that, she would have to miss a lot of games and record less than 2 steals per game in order to miss that mark. So she's well on her pathway to breaking that program record for the Falcons. And for Bowling Green, you mentioned the starting five there, Carter. He's kind of going back and forth at his head coach, Fred Shamil, with Laura Gherkin and Jasmine Fern in the starting lineup. And now tonight, he looks to go with Jasmine Fern over Gherkin once again.
Yeah, that's been a big noticing pattern for this Bowling Green squad. We've seen different variations of the starting five lineup. And, of course, you'll have different lineups every now and then. But we keep seeing, as you mentioned, that switch between both Fern and Gherkin. And tonight we're going to see Jasmine Fern out on the floor. So it should be interesting to see what kind of role she plays tonight.
We mentioned head coach Kate Ochter for the Broncos. She is the all-time leader in assists in program history. She won 4 MAC titles with this team in 2004 to 2008. She is also one of the top players in points, rebounds, and steals. She is one of the all-time greats. She's in the practice gym here at the Stroh Center. If you go in the practice gym, you see her face there on the walls. She was at Detroit Mercy last year. She beat Bowling Green in freshman when she was with Detroit Mercy last season on the road. Obviously, lost the first game between these two teams back in January, 61-54 on the road. But now she has a chance to come back to a place where she made a legacy for herself as a player and to get a road win to honestly keep Western Michigan's MAC tournament hopes alive, which are already very slim.
Absolutely, Lucas. And going back to the Ochter side of things, you got to, if you're Kate Ochter, you always got to appreciate coming back to Bowling Green any chance that you get. Seeing the legacy that you've been able to build here, and just overall just a really good successful time here when she spent with the Falcons from 04 to 08.
Indeed she did. So the Broncos will be wearing their road orange from head to toe. Bowling Green once again in their home white. This is the third to last regular season home game. They're back in action this Saturday against those Toledo Rockets on the road, and then they close out the season, later season that is, against Northern Illinois Huskies. This is very well a team we talked about in the pre-show. We talked about now that's fighting for the MAC tournament spot. They right now sit in that 8th spot, but they have Eastern Michigan on their heels that are still alive, and also Western Michigan as well that could possibly sneak in and do something as well.
It's called crunch time for a reason, Lucas. As we continue to dwindle down the regular season, it's going to get more intense as time goes along, and that could very well start tonight.
And Taya Ellis and Ariana Wilkes, both forwards. Wilkes, a transfer from High Point University, native of Columbia, South Carolina. Ellis, native of Toronto, Ontario. Ball in the air, tipped and one from Wilkes, and it goes to the Carlson and the Broncos. Here comes WMU to start this one. Richardson outside Carlson, top of the key. Gets a screen set from Richardson, hands out here to the right wing. Right wing drive. This is Kylie Starks. Came over from Detroit Mercy with head coach Ochner. Leading the Broncos in scoring so far this year with 13 points per game. Into Carlson. Carlson puts a shot blocked initially from Ellis. Kicks it out here left wing. Driving inside, Starks. Kohler there runs right into danger, and I believe they're going to get Paige Kohler for a first personal foul.
And a great job by Taya Ellis right there. You saw the first major block of the game right there. Taya Ellis for the Falcons, one of the more taller players standing at 6'1", the Toronto, Ontario native.
Inbounding this one. Gets it out. It's a long three from Carlson. Can't get one to fall initially, and goes out to Paige Kohler. Here comes Kohler. Kicks it out here to Kyle Woods, right wing. Woods again getting another start. Here's Fern, who's been rewarded with another start here tonight. Kohler left wing, and now signaling out the play here for Bowling Green. Right wing here, Donahue. Donahue kicks it out. Back to Kohler, left wing, right in front of the Bronco bench. Kohler outside Woods. 7 on the shot clock for Bowling Green. Now Kohler elects a three, and Paige Kohler knocks it down. First points of the game, 3-0 Bowling Green. A minute to play here in the first.
And we talked about Bowling Green getting off to quick starts right there. That's exactly how you want to start out against a struggling team like Western Michigan. Great shot selection from Kohler.
8:43 left here in the first quarter. Turnover here for Western Michigan. Here comes Kai Woods. Woods outside Jasmine Fern for a three. Fern a little bit too strong. Donahue getting the rebound and goes into the hands here of Wilkes. Here come the Broncos now up here to the right wing, looking for their first points of the contest. Outside Carlson, left wing. Carlson still driving, looking to kick this one out to Richardson. Richardson gets it back to Carlson. Carlson now gets a screen set from Wilkes. And I do believe they'll get Kaya Woods here for a foul.
Kaya Woods, despite her size only standing at 5'3", she's been known to really being able to get a hand on the ball each time that she steps foot on the court, whether it's a steal, whether it's an offensive or defensive rebound. She's always quick to the point.
With the bolt of energy, Kaya Woods on the floor in her first season with Bowling Green after spending 2 seasons with Akron. Left wing. There's Mukaira. Gets out to the right wing. It's a Starks. 3 on the shot clock. Mukaira again. She'll take a highly contested deep three off front iron. Fighting for the rebound. There are a couple of Falcons, and it goes in the hand of Paige Kohler, who goes up fast. On the fast break, kicks it out to Ellis. Ellis takes a nice move. Ellis, and nice finish off glass and in for her first points. 5-0 Bowling Green with 7:42 left here in the first.
Just a great job by Ellis. Way to drive it in there.
Eli Mukaira again. Left side, they find Carlson. Carlson again, drives inside. Richardson, right wing, Starks. Starks double team initially from Donahue and Kohler. Mukaira again, top of the key, left wing. Carlson guard from Woods. Starks down the 3. Carlson got Woods to fake, kicks it out. Mid-range jumper here. That's a one bit short. Into the hands here of Donahue. Still no points yet for Western Michigan. Donahue drives, has that one knocked away. That was stolen away from Callie Starks. Starks on the fast break, has Woods to beat. Starks up and in. The first points of the game there, Carter turns a Donahue turnover into an offensive bucket.
And Kaylee Starks, as we mentioned, not only leads the team in points, but also leads the teams in steals, averaging about 2 to 3 steals a game. So just another example of Kaylee Starks being on the defensive side.
Here's Woods. She'll take it highly contested too. That one a little bit too strong, right into the hands again here for Western Michigan. That time was Deanna Richardson. Carlson left wing. Richardson on top of the key guard from Fern. Feeds this one inside. Ellis was just a little bit too that. Finding that one through was Demija Bold, sophomore forward from O'Fallon, Illinois. 5-4. Bowling Green up by 1 with 6:25 left in the first. Donahue outside left wing here. Fern, Kohler. Both these teams are the bottom 2 shooting teams in the MAC coming in this one. Western Michigan sticking last with 56 points per game. Bowling Green not much ahead. Donahue drives. Was looking to go inside there with Starks. And they'll get Starks here for her first personal foul.
Now with the deficit only cut to 1 between these two, you kind of have to think. Of course, you had that fast start, that fast 5-0 start, but now you have to really be smart about your shot selections and don't just start heaving things up when it doesn't go your way.
Inbound pass right there to Taya Ellis, got off glass and in. She's got 4 points early in this one. 7-4 Bowling Green under 6 minutes to play in the first. Here comes the Broncos. Here Richardson out to the left wing, Starks. Starks drives, kicks it out. Bolds again. Carlson right in front of the Bowling Green bench. Gets a screen set. Bowles. Richardson will take a deep three. That one just off the mark. Ellis jockeying for the rebound. Gets it. Was in a corner. But they'll get out to Kai Woods. It goes with some speed. Here's Woods. And Woods there kind of just drawing Carlson there for the foul. And they'll get Carlson their first.
One thing that we have seen so far, and going back to Taylor Ellis, is her finding lanes inside the paint, being that aggressive 6-footer over player in the height differential. So that's something that Bowling Green is definitely going to have to continue doing tonight, is being aggressive inside that paint.
Kohler to Donahue, left wing Woods. Donahue gets it back. Kohler now three from the right wing there. That one just a bit too strong. Rebound held in here from Bolds. She's made an impact coming off the bench early in this one. Carlson drives. No one slowing her down. Trying to get this one to Richardson. Gherkin is there. And Gherkin able to get the rebound. Kicks it out to Donahue. Here's Donahue. Donahue drives to the right side. Donahue working baseline. Puts a highly contested shot there. That one won't fall after hitting front rim. And this one is into Lukaira again. Into the corner here. Deep three for Starks. That one nothing but air. And rebounding here from Gherkin. So under 5 minutes to play. Next timeout will be our media timeout of the first quarter. Still 7-4 Bowling Green here in the first.
And even though she wasn't in the starting 5, Lauren Gherkin already up to 2 defensive rebounds so far for the Falcons.
Here's Gherkin driving inside out to the left wing Woods. Woods thought about 3 feet inside here to Taya Ellis. Ellis drives, finishes with the left there. That one a bit short, puts it back up again for the second try. She's got now 6 points in this one. Bowling Green's lead up to 5 and 9-4 with 4:15 left in the first.
If you're Western Michigan here, you got to find better ways to contain Taya Ellis inside that paint, inside that perimeter.
Carlson outside Richardson. That's a 3 from top of the key. That one a bit off the mark. Rebounding here from Donahue. Donahue out to Kohler. Kohler drives. Hands off to Gherkin. Gherkin to Donahue. Right wing, now here Kai Wish will dribble left. By the elbow, bounce pass, looking for Kohler, kicks it back out Woods. Gherkin takes a deep 3, Lauren Gherkin, that one off the mark, goes right into the hands of Donahue. Donahue here from the right side. Kicks it back out, it's the top of the key, Kai Woods, couple step over, drives inside, bounces off her knee. Turnover here right into the hands of the Broncos. Here comes Western Michigan in the transition. Outside, Carlson, open 3 in the left wing, that one ricochets in and out. Another rebound there from Donahue. Donahue now has got 4 rebounds on the night. Ellis, here's the Kohler. Pretty fast start to this quarter, 9-4, yeah, 3:09 left here in the first.
Absolutely, it goes by in a hurry.
Donahue to Kohler. Kohler step back deep 2, that one no good. Rebounding here from Carlson. And now Carlson will kind of just walk this one up the court, slow things down. It's been pretty fast pace here in this one.
And not to mention the fact that so far Western Michigan 0 for 6 from the three-point line. So going to have to make some adjustments here to keep this a lot closer.
We got Bukaira there. That's a deep 2. Got that one to go for her first points of the game. 9-6. Bowling Green now up by 3. 2:35 left here in the first. Here's Kohler. Kohler feeds it inside Ellis. Kohler drives off the handoff. Double team there, trying to kick it outside. Donahue had to stretch out for it. Feeds inside Ellis, who's got 6 points early in this one. Ellis just dumps it off Kohler right wing. The shot clock's down to 7. Down to 5 now. Kohler bounce pass inside. Ellis now tangled up there. And she traveled. So it'll be a turnover there for Bowling Green. It'll be Western Michigan ball. And now we've reached our first media timeout with 2:11 left here in the first quarter. 9-6 Bowling Green. This timeout, as always, sponsored by Juniper Brew Company, located 145 South Main Street in downtown Bowling Green, serving coffee, craft beer, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. See latest menu by visiting juniperbrew.com. 9-6 Bowling Green. We'll take a quick break. But listen to BGSU Women's Basketball right here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Black Swan Players of Bowling Green is dedicated to the advancement of amateur theatrics, including production of live theater as well as various educational opportunities involving the arts. Founded in 1965, the organization provides high-quality amateur live theater as well as opportunities to the cast, crews, and the viewing public. Visit blackswanplayers.org for more information.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Bowling Green women's tennis looks to bounce back after a loss as they battle Youngstown State on the road on Friday, February 20th at 2 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Jacob Kopaz has the recap of the match on bgfalconmedia.com, your home for all BGSU athletics news and updates.
After this game wraps up, more coverage continues online at bgfalconmedia.com.
Back here at the Stroh Center, Bowling Green 9, Western Michigan 6. Here at WBGU 88.1 FM, I'm Luis Clymer, joined alongside Carter Leonard. Our first broadcast together, which has been crazy to say. But in this one, Carter, it's been pretty fast-paced, not a lot of stoppages. Taya Ellis has gotten a lot from inside, which is pretty, usual for her. But Western Michigan right now is struggling to shoot the ball, just 4 for 11, only 1 3-pointer, 0 for 6 from 3, 3 for 12 from the field. Not been the start they want offensively.
Yeah, absolutely not. It's just those missed opportunities to cut this game a little bit closer because at one point Bowling Green, the lead was only cut down to 5-4, but now it's back up to a 3-point deficit. So the shooting for Western Michigan has to get better as the night goes on.
Western Michigan going from right to left on your radio dial. Bowling Green going from left to right. Feet inside, looking for Wilkes. A bunny shot, no good. Gets a second chance at it and puts it up and in.
And just a great awareness by Allie Carlson with that bounce pass there.
So 9-8, Bowling Green up by 1, a minute 40 left here in the first. It was a low-scoring affair, defensive between these two. Janiah Bland Fitzpatrick is checking for the first time this game. Kohler lost the ball as she was going up for a mid-layup. Carlson gets it back right wing, Richardson. Richardson kicks it out left wing. Here's Starks. Starks drives. Wilkes kicks it out here to the right-hand side. This is Olivia Flynn and now Ali Harness. And that one there just way off the mark for Western Michigan. Here comes Kai Woods. Woods to Donahue. Donahue kicks it back out to Kohler. Kohler to Woods. Kohler signal for the play. Down to a minute here in the first quarter. Kohler. Outside Gherkin. Gherkin back to Donahue. Donahue will take a deep three. How about Nate Donahue? Knocking it down from downtown. Second three of the quarter for Bowling Green. And Donahue gets her first points of the contest.
Janaea Donahue only averaging about 18.5% from the three-point line as well, so good to see her get acclimated early.
Steal there from Donahue. Transition basket. Bland Fitzpatrick puts it up and in. 14-8. 6-point lead now for the Orange and Brown. About 1 second to separate the shot clock and game clock. And Donahue, we talked about her steals record, her trajectory in that category. Already has now won the night. 10 seconds left. Carlson here in the left wing. Carlson step back, feeds it inside. Richardson kicks it out. Long switch out, and too hot to handle there in the corner there for Richardson. Excuse me, there was Kylie Starks.
And one thing we have noticed coming out of this timeout for Bowling Green, and we were going to mention, we mentioned the start that Taya Ellis had earlier in this game, but as this timeout has come out, we've seen more Falcons now get on the board with points. We mentioned Donahue with the 3, Janiah Bland Fitzpatrick with the steal and scoop and score, if you want to call it. So just getting more players acclimated into that point situation, into scoring for Bowling Green is definitely important.
Gherkin takes a deep 3 there, was trying to hit it at the buzzer. A little bit too strong there, no good, but Bowling Green, an all-successful first quarter, holding Western Michigan to just 8 points, 14-8. Bowling Green's up by 6 at the end of the first quarter. We'll do a quick step aside. We'll bring you second quarter action here at WBGU 88.1 FM.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
On November 15th, 2024, BGSU Hockey defeated St. Thomas in a shootout, courtesy of a game winner by defenseman Jack Blake. Falcon Media Sports Network's voice of Falcon Hockey, Ben Korak, had the call of the moment on WBGU 88.1 FM.
And Jack Blake, for all the glory, trying to put this one away. With the puck, taking it around, far side wheel, working in with the shot, and he fills it! Jack Blake with the shootout winner! First time in the lineup this season, and Jack Blake is the hero as Bowling Green mobs him.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
The premier community theater of Bowling Green is the Black Swan Players. For over 50 years, Black Swan Players has been dedicated to the advancement of amateur theatrics, including production of live theater as well as various educational opportunities involving the arts. BSP is a nonprofit organization whose volunteer membership is open to any person regardless of age, religion, sexual orientation, or race. Visit blackswanplayers.org.
You are listening to Falcon Media Sports Network's women's basketball coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Back here at the Stroh Center, Bowling Green 14, Western Michigan 8. After the first quarter here at WBGU 88.1 FM, Luz Clymer alongside Carl Leonard with you. Your thoughts there, Carter, from the first 10 minutes of play?
Bowling Green got off to the fast start that they wanted, but they're going to have to keep that momentum going throughout the rest of these three quarters there. But really good job from players like Taya Ellis, Paige Kohler, Bland Fitzpatrick, and, of course, Jonea Donahue as well.
Bland Fitzpatrick, Ellis, Woods, Gherkin, and Kira Miller on the floor for Bowling Green. Gherkin spins, almost had that one knocked away. Miller. Bowling Green once again going from left to right here on your radio dial. Here's Kaya Woods. Woods drives, kicks it out here. Miller, deep three. Kira Miller, one a bit too strong. Ellis there, good hustle there to get the rebound. She's kind of in a corner and then just gave it away to Carlson.
For Ellis, she also leads. She's also second in the team in rebounds so far behind Donahue with 4.
Inside here, Demaja Bolds. Count it. And 1. And they'll get Kira Miller, I believe. So the freshman underneath the basket there gets her first personal, and she's almost drawn no foul. I mean, she's almost been tagged with no fouls almost the entirety of the season. It's been very low for her. She's been really good as of late at getting those defensive spots and drawing fouls rather than committing them. They get one there, and Bulls has a chance to make a three-point play.
Absolutely, and when you're able to minimize those mistakes like that, it leads to a lot of good things happening for a player like that. But, of course, sometimes that it doesn't go your way, and just happened to happen there.
Yeah, Bulls now completes a three-point play, so lead back down to 3 for Bowling Green, 14-11. Here's Bland Fitzpatrick for the left wing. I don't think they got the play right. He wanted a screen from Gherkin, then got it. Here's Miller. Miller to Gherkin. Here's Woods. Woods drives, kicks it inside, looking for Ellis. She's not on the same page, and they'll say it took a touch off of Bronco's foot, so it'll still be orange and brown ball.
Yeah, as we look at the replay right here, Woods trying to get a bounce pass in there and just happened to fall off a foot of one of the defenders.
Bolds there will get tagged to that foul. Kind of a little two-handsy there with Taya Ellis. Here's Woods again. Outside Bland Fitzpatrick. Here's Kai Woods. Woods, Miller. Lofts it inside, Gherkin. Here's Gherkin, spins, puts it up, a bit short, but she gets the foul.
Gherkin is definitely going to be another one of those key players for Bowling Green, not only shooting outside, but also inside the paint as well.
So Gherkin will go to the free throw line. "25 games, 17 starts on the year for Gherkin, third on the team in scoring, averaging just about 9.2 points per game. Bowling Green only got 2 players, and Donahue and Kohler, they're averaging double figures. Kohler there with 14.5 and Donahue's 11.4. Kirkin there 2 for 2 there for the line. 16-11. Now Orange and Brown up by 5.
Also the 5th for Falcon in the point situation tonight.
8:32 now left here in the quarter. Kira Miller almost got that one knocked away. Here's Carlson. Carlson now driving over inside. Carlson. Got a screen set there from Bowles. Carlson left corner here. That's a 3. They're absolutely drained from Mukaira.
Mukaira, only a player that averages a little over 5 points per game, but also averages about 26.5 minutes for the Broncos as well.
3 there from the left wing, hit nothing but net. Another 3 for her. 16-14, Bowling Green lead up by 2 with 8 minutes left to play here in the second quarter here at the Stroh Center. Kai Woods dribbles left, hands off here, Kira Miller. Here's Miller, screen set here from Ellis. Kira Miller will take a 3. That one a bit too strong, no good. Ellis there, good fight there, gets the rebound. Shot clock resets. Ellis into Gherkin. There's Kai Woods. Woods. And the shotgun down. She drives. That one knocked away initially. Woods gets it right back. 5 on the shot clock. Bland Fitzpatrick now drives. 3 on the shot clock. Bland Fitzpatrick drives. That one no good. Still fighting for the rebound. Carlson, though, winds up with it. So a Broncos stop there. Carlson with Bland Fitzpatrick on her. Carlson out. Hallie Harness, a deep 3. Air ball. And it goes out of bounds. So both teams get a stop there. As Bowling Green makes 3 changes. Kohler, Donahue, and Jasmine Fern come back into the fray.
And the 3-point struggles, once again, for Western Michigan continue. Although they've made 1 there, so far 1 for 8 from the 3-point line tonight, and just 6 of 18 from the field in general.
Kohler handoff here. Donahue mid-range jumper. That one a bit too strong. Guess who? Ellis again rebound. Ellis puts it up a bit too much there. Goes right to a Bronco. This one is taken away from Starks. Donahue knocks it away. Stolen here from Donahue right into the basket. Donahue, and just couldn't connect there. Still loose ball on the floor, and Starks comes away with it.
And you could tell Donahue is going to be a little bit frustrated about that one. Perfect opportunity to get a steal and a bucket right then and there, but just couldn't get from point A to point B.
Mukaira there couldn't come up with it that time. Donahue comes away with it. 6:35 left here in the second quarter. 16-14 Bowling Green. Low-scoring defensive affair here, physical so far in this one. Jasmine Fern looking to go backdoor to Donahue, again a bit too strong. Ellister trying to get the rebound there. The same as last off of Bronco. It'll be BG ball.
And it looked like Kate Octor for Western Michigan wanted a little bit of a call right there initially as one of the Bowling Green players set a pick right there, but wasn't able to get it.
Kohler bounces the pass inside. Ellis puts it up. And 1. Count it. That's 8 points now for Tay Ellis. He has a chance to extend the Bowling Green lead to 5. 18-14. Chance to make it 19.
Not only has Ellis been dominant so far in scoring inside the paint, she's also been doing a great job of getting to the ball so far, leading the Falcons with 5 rebounds.
Yeah, she's been absolutely dominant early in this one here. Early double-double watch, some may say. First one here from Ellis. Got it. So 3-point play there converted, 19-14. We get back up to 5 for Bowling Green. Still just 5 for 14 from the field, 2 for 7 for 3. Both teams are shooting around 33%.
And also to mention, both teams equally have 5 turnovers as well. So ball handling definitely been a topic of discussion for both sides.
Carson out here in the corner. Inside Richardson. Richardson kicks it out. Mukaira. Mukaira working on Fern. On the corner looking for Carlson. Donahue there takes the charge. And an offensive foul going to be called there on Western Michigan. Donahue got herself in the right position at the right time.
Yeah, definitely. When you're able to force a team like Western Michigan into those sorts of mistakes, it definitely creates a lot of opportunities, to get back on the ball and create a bigger deficit.
Emily Cecil coming in here for the first time for Bland Fitzpatrick. Cecil will bring us one up the court here for Bowling Green. Cecil handoff here to Kohler. Donahue, Kohler top of the key. Drives inside, Gherkin. Donahue, left wing Fern. Fern takes a step back deep 3. That one too strong. Richardson gets the rebound. Harness there, and Kohler got a hand on that one. Carlson was trying to find Starks there in the left corner, and Kohler said, no, ma'am.
Even though it will remain Western Michigan's ball, you got to admire the effort from Paige Kohler right there, trying to get a hand on that ball as soon as possible.
Here's one Carlson screen set here from Richardson. Richardson now takes a deep three. That one no good. Rebounding here from Donahue. Been a cold streak as of late here for the Broncos. Donahue, Bland Fitzpatrick. Couple steps. Bland Fitzpatrick drives and takes a hard foul and a fall. And this time they're going to get Wilkes. And Octor wanted a travel called. It looked like she kind of took that in there with her left arm, but you know the rules. Nowadays.
Absolutely, Lucas, and they look like one of those close calls, if you will. So at the end of the day, the rules be the rules.
Here's Janiah Bland Fitzpatrick. First one from the free throw line is good. 20-14. Chance to go 2 for 2 here for the line. Bland Fitzpatrick can't get that one there. Gherkin, though, with a big rebound. Gherkin put this one up there, too strong. Gherkin almost trying to make that one happen. Wilkes here gets the rebound. So 20-14. Next stoppage here will be our media timeout. Starks. And the left corner here, Carlson. Carlson still in the left corner here, Richardson. Cecil there a bit too much in there with Wilkes.
You kind of just saw Cecil right there, just had her arms really wrapped around Wilkes right there.
This timeout, once again, is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company, located 145 South Main Street in downtown Bowling Green, serving coffee, craft beer, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. See this menu by visiting juniperbrew.com. 20-14, Orange and Brown up by 6 with 4:56 left here in the second quarter. You listen to BGSU Women's Basketball right here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Black Swamp Players of Bowling Green is dedicated to the advancement of amateur theatrics, including production of live theater as well as various educational opportunities involving the arts. Founded in 1965, the organization provides high-quality amateur live theater as well as opportunities to the cast, crews, and the viewing public. BSP is a nonprofit organization whose volunteer membership is open to any person, regardless of age, religion, sexual orientation, or race. Visit blackswampplayers.org for more information.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
The premier community theater of Bowling Green is the Black Swamp Players. For over 50 years, Black Swamp Players has been dedicated to the advancement of amateur theatrics, including production of live theater as well as various educational opportunities involving the arts. BSP is a nonprofit organization whose volunteer membership is open to any person regardless of age, religion, sexual orientation, or race. For more information or to volunteer, visit blackswampplayers.org.
At the Stro or on the road, the Falcon Media Sports Network is covering the Falcons all season.
Back here in the Stro Center, 4:56 left here in the second quarter. Bowling Green 20, Western Michigan 14. Lucas Meyer, Carl Leonard alongside with you. Orange and Brown Carter have continued to stifle Western Michigan offensively. They've held them to 6 for 19 now and just 1 3-pointer. 1 for 9, and really, if you could do the math, 8 points given up in the first quarter, just 6 so far. You're halfway through as well.
Absolutely, and one thing that I've really noticed about the Bowling Green squad going on the defensive side of things is really containing Kaylee Starks so far for the Broncos. You know, of course, the leading scorer for Western Michigan, only down to 2 points, 1 of 2 from the field, and 0 for 1 at the three-point line. So they've been doing a good job containing her as Western Michigan continues to struggle throughout this first half, but safe to say there's been times where the Broncos have kept it a lot closer, but Bowling Green able to take advantage.
Indeed they have. So out of this timeout, Western Michigan inbounds. Here to Wilkes. Wilkes to Carlson. Richardson trying to stop this drought. Has been Richardson, deep three, and she's got it. Right in front of the bench, right in front of Fred Shamil. And you got that one to go. Still a 3-point ball game now. 20-17. Orange and Brown up by 3. Cecil outside left wing here. Gherkin. Donahue right in front of the Western Michigan bench. Dribbles inside now. Past the left elbow, now into the right. Donahue. Hands off here to Ellis. Travel call here on Taya Ellis.
Ellis trying to find an open lane right there and just got a little bit too happy, if you will. But good job by Bowling Green trying to move the ball around as much as possible to try to find those open spaces and separation.
Here's Carlson out to the right wing here. Mukaira. Mukaira, long switch out here. Carlson. Richardson. Thought about a 3. Donahue was late to get it. 3 on the shot clock now. Starks there. Defensive play from Cecil, and then it hands to Donahue. Donahue likes to go quick here to Kohler. Kohler outside Gherkin. And they're going to say she stepped out of bounds, I believe. Lauren Gherkin.
Looked like the ref on the far end signaled a travel there for a second with the roll of the arms there, but looks like Gherkin may have been out by the heel of her shoe right there.
Yeah, either travel or we'll see. It goes down as her first turnover of the game. Everything happened really quick there. She was trying to lock and load for a 3. Here's Carlson. Gets by Woods. Richardson. Harness. Mukaira 3. Off the mark. And out of bounds. Bowling Green ball.
And Donahue with the smart decision right there just to let that ball sail out of bounds right there and not try to create an unnecessary turnover for the Falcons.
Here's Kaya Woods. Woods hands off inside Gherkin. Gherkin floater gets it to Donahue. Donahue, nice grab. Hands off to Ellis, low floater. Ellis has got 11 points. First player this game to get in the double digits, and she extends the lead to 5, 22-17, Bowling Green. Here's Richardson, top of the key. Harness, left wing. Wilkes, right corner. Carlson, back to Wilkes. Wilkes puts a shot up there. Favorable bounce, no. Good defensive play from Gherkin. Ellis gets it right back.
This is a game you really wanted to see Taya Ellis get acclimated to, because when you look at the active roster for Western Michigan, they have 8 players listed at 6 foot and above. So it was definitely going to be a little bit of a size matchup tonight. So phenomenal job by Ellis so far.
Here's Kohler. Kohler drives, takes the bump there, and not close there on the shot. Hit off almost the side of the backboard. Here's Carlson. Carlson drives, hands it off. Wilkes puts it up. Count it. 3-point play coming up for the Broncos. Wilkes got by Gherkin and has a chance to cut the lead down to 2.
And Gherkin defending there just took a little bit of a spill at the end of the day, at the end of the play there. No harm, no foul. Well, defensive foul, I should say.
Wilkes has a chance to get her 5th point of the contest and make it 22-20. It's worth mentioning last time these two teams played back in mid-January, it was 27-26 Bowling Green at half. So we're on the trajectory to have almost a similar scoreline at the halfway point. 2:15 left here in the second, 22-20 Bowling Green. Donnie to Ellis. Ellis, Carlson knocks that one away. Out of bounds, still Bowling Green ball with 19 on the shot clock.
And Carlson, defensively for Western Michigan, has really been all over the place as we've seen. She's always moving her feet, always trying to get to the ball as soon as she possibly can.
Donahue trying to feed this one to Gherkin. Gets out to Ellis. Ellis to Woods. Here's Woods. Woods drives, kicks it inside. Ellis. Ellis, spin moves on 2 Broncos. That one just a bit short.
Looked like Wilkes may have gotten the hand and maybe a little bit of a wrist in there as well to deflect it.
Yeah, tight defending there from Wilkes. Here come the Broncos. A chance to tie or potentially take the lead for the first time tonight. Richardson, mid-range jumper. That one no good. Wilkes gets the rebound. Mukaira for the lead. Off short to the right there. Another rebound, Western Michigan. This time Carlson. Just still Bronco ball. A third chance here to tie or take the lead. Carlson, Donahue in her face. 5 on the shot clock. Still Carlson has to just jack up a highly contested shot off the mark. And I'm not really sure what happened there besides just suffocating defense there from Woods and Donahue.
And you got to admire the effort right there, despite the fact that Western Michigan managed to get 2 to 3 offensive rebounds right there, it seemed like, in that short sequence of time right there. Just great job defensively to hold them off.
Minute 10 left here before halftime, 22-20. Here's Woods. Woods drives, kicks it outside. Kohler. Kohler will take a deep three. Kohler, yes! Nothing but net for Paige Kohler. And boy, oh boy, do the Falcons need that one.
Absolutely, and when you're able to set up those three-pointers like that, it gives you way more momentum than you could ever realize. So great job by Paige Kohler.
25-20, Bowling Green up by 5, 41 seconds left here before halftime. Wilkes in the left corner, Mukaira outside, Harness, she'll take a three of her own, Harness, and she's got it. 25-23 now, 30 seconds left before halftime. Harness, her first triple of the half. And the shot clock is off now. Bowling Green can take the last shot of the half if they want. Back and forth first half here at the Stroh Center. 15 seconds left now here. Donahue Gherkin here in the left wing. Donahue again with 10 seconds left. Still Donahue. Screen set here from Ellis. Donahue still. That pass up deflected. Donahue again with 3 seconds left. Donahue as shot clock expires. That one no good. And that's how this first half will come to a close. Bowling Green up by just 2 with 25-23. And another defensive back and forth contest against the Western Michigan Broncos.
Yeah, definitely, Lucas. And we talked a little bit about it in the pregame show, how Western Michigan, despite how the last few games have not really gone in their favor, they have always tried to find a way to make games a lot closer. And so far, it's on that same trajectory as of right now. And you mentioned the last two times that the last time that these two played each other in Kalamazoo, Michigan, back on January 14th. It was almost sort of the same sort of ebbs and flows, so to speak. So Bowling Green up by 2.
Bowling Green 25, Western Michigan 23. We'll send it back over to Sam Bork, Jacob Kopez, Kevin Hutchinson, and WBGU 88.1 studios here. And we'll bring you right back here to the start of the second half here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Bowling Green women's track travels to South Bend, Indiana for the Alex Wilson Invitational on Saturday, February 21st. Check out the recap of the meet by Falcon Media Sports Network's Brendan Mendoza on bgfalconmedia.com. Your home for all BGSU athletics, news, and updates.
Wake up every weekday with WBGU and The Morning Show. The Morning Show is a community resource for weekly events, news, sports, weather, interviews with community officials and organizations, birthday and anniversary announcements, and more. The Morning Show broadcasts live Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. from the Killeen Center at Bowling Green State University. Listen live every weekday from 6 to 9 a.m. locally on 88.1 FM or streaming online at bgfalconmedia.com.
Back here in the WBGU 88.1 FM studio here in the Killeen Center. My name is Sam Bork. I'm alongside Jacob Kopaz and Kevin Hutchinson. So, very back and forth first half we had here. Why don't you recap what went down there, Kevin?
Yeah, for sure. I think we've just seen two teams that have really struggled when it comes to shooting. Western Michigan, 9 of 26 from the floor. Bowling Green, 9 of 28 from the floor. Part of the reason this is such a low-scoring first half. Notably from beyond the arc, Western Michigan only 3 of 13. Bowling Green only 3 of 9. So not a great night shooting for either team. In terms of Bowling Green, most of the offensive production has been from Taya Ellis and Paige Kohler. They've combined for 17 of the Falcons' 25 points. Paige Kohler going 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, so she's been solid, but just not a ton of offensive production. And you look at Western Michigan, they haven't had anybody score in double digits for them. So just not a great offensive start for either of these teams.
All right, so thank you for that, and we'll take a quick break here, and when we come back, we'll get into a deeper discussion about what went down in that first half. So keep it right here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Don't miss the morning show on WBGU FM every weekday from 6 to 9 a.m. Join the morning show team weekday mornings to hear about local news, local weather reports, community programming, financial market reports, coaches show with coaches from BGSU and BGHS, and live newsmaker interviews. Listen live every weekday from 6 to 9 a.m. locally on 88.1 FM or streaming online at bgfalconmedia.com.
Falcon Media Sports Network now has a pregame, halftime, and postgame show for every BGSU men's and women's basketball broadcast, starting 25 minutes before each game. Make sure to tune in to hear insights and knowledge from Falcon Media Sports Network analysts. You can listen to every broadcast on WBGU 88.1 FM or Falcon Radio, also streaming on bgfalconmedia.com.
All right, back here in the WBGU 88.1 FM studio for our Falcon Media Sports Network halftime show. Bowling Green leading 25-23 over Western Michigan. Bit of a close game here. I mean, probably to be expected. I mean, especially when you look at both of these offenses, a lot of times struggling, and certainly is the case here in this first half so far. What did you see, Jacob, that we want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this game is kind of what we predicted from the pregame show. It's a very defensive affair. And, I mean, like Kevin talked about before we went to break, the shooting for the teams has not been great. I mean, from three-point, Western Michigan's 3 for 13 and Bowling Green's 3 for 9. We're seeing both the teams really not capitalize on the chances that they're getting. I mean, BGSU only has 8 points from turnovers, and Western Michigan has 8 turnovers so far. So you'd really like to see them start getting that going. And if this really goes for both teams. If they capitalized on their opportunities, they could have a much bigger lead, and it can be a very different ball game.
Yeah, for sure. We just haven't seen a ton of that yet. Something the Falcons are going to have to focus on more in the second half. Interestingly, Janaea Donahue, she went into this game 9 steals away from the program record. She already has 3, so she is now only 6 steals away from that record. Could be interesting to see if she adds to that tally in the second half.
Yeah, and also looking to see if she adds to the scoring, too, because the only bucket she made was a three-pointer, currently 1 for 6 from the field. So looking to see more out of her in the second half, but I want to say it's a great half from Taya Ellis. I mean, I talked about it, playing in the paint and getting rebounding, out-rebounding the team. Currently out-rebounding Western Michigan by 3, and Taya Ellis, like we said, the leading scorer in this game with 11. So big first half from her, and she also has 6 rebounds, but Janaea Donahue right behind her with 5. So honestly, still a pretty good half from Donahue, despite the low scoring. But I think if you get her going in the second half, I think, and this will pivot to our next segment, our Player of the Game watch, she could be up there if she gets going in the scoring. So who are you looking at, Jacob, for your Player of the Game watch?
Honestly, I'm gonna go with old reliable here, Paige Kohler. She hit a big 3 to end the half there, so I'm thinking this can get her started, get her going, and then hopefully in the second half she comes out hot and makes a couple more, and then we can see her lead BG to a bigger lead and hopefully a big win.
Yeah, for sure. I got to go with Taya Ellis, though. I mean, leading the team with 11 points and 6 rebounds, kind of flirting with a double-double right now. Just her, her ability to sort of create that mismatch in the paint has been big, especially because there haven't been a ton of points being put on the board. I think she could be the player of the game. If I were to pick a second choice, I would actually go Janaea Donahue because I think she's still going to be trying to rack up those steals, and I think we're going to see more scoring from Janaea Donahue in the second half.
Yeah, could be history in the making tonight. We don't know. Probably not, but she could inch herself closer and closer to that all-time steals record, so we will keep a lookout for that once the second half arrives. But we're going to take a short break here, and when we come back, we will take another look at what's going on around the MAC in women's basketball. So keep it right here. You're listening to the Falcon Media Sports Network halftime show on WBGU 88.1 FM.
We're showing Debbie and Joyce and what have you. We got them on 8mm, and then we copied from the 8mm to VCR, just so they can, their kids now can watch them growing up when they were these ages.
Ever heard of Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcasts on Falcon Radio or WBGU 88.1 FM, but don't know where to listen? Well, set down the radio, pick up your phone, and go to bgfalconmedia.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to stream Falcon Radio and WBGU 88.1 FM for all broadcasts.
Welcome back to the Falcon Media Sports Network halftime show here in WBGU 88.1 FM studios in Bowling Green, Ohio. My name's Sam Bork. I'm joined alongside Jacob Kopaz and Kevin Hutchinson, of course. So, looking back to around the MAC action, we have a busy slate of games here on this Wednesday night. Bowling Green and Western Michigan, obviously, like we talked about, 2-point lead for the Falcons into halftime. A lot of games here coming close to the final score. Ball State and Buffalo going about as much as you expected. Ball State up by 29, 83-54 over Buffalo. Buffalo still not finding a win in this MAC conference this year. Ohio and Akron, close game there. Currently a 5-point lead for Ohio. Akron looking to come away with a big upset if they can close it out here. 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter there. Nearing the end of this game, 43 seconds left in the fourth. Toledo looking like they're going to come away with a big upset over Massachusetts, 57-46. Toledo 7-5 in the MAC. Massachusetts 10-2. They are third in the MAC. So, interesting team to see fall. And you look at that Toledo team, obviously Bowling Green has them next. So definitely a huge win for Toledo coming into the Stroh Center. So that's going to be one to watch out for. And then 47 seconds left here in the second quarter of the first half. Miami, Ohio, 32. Central Michigan, 23. That's a big-time battle there. Miami, Ohio, 11-1 in the MAC. Central Michigan, 10-3 in the MAC. Two top dogs going at it there. And then our final game here with about 50 seconds left to go in the first half here. Northern Illinois leading Kent State 36-29. Northern Illinois 2-11 in the MAC. Kent State 5-7. That would be a huge win for this Northern Illinois team. So we will keep an eye on those last two matchups here. Akron actually just cut it to a 2-point lead. As I've been talking, 2 minutes to go left in the fourth there. Ohio 84, Akron 82. That's going to be one to watch out for as we near final there. Really great game going on over in Akron. So that is your Around the MAC recap. We're going to take another break here. We're going to give our final thoughts on what we want to see in the second half. So keep it right here. You're listening to the Falcon Media Sports Network halftime show on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Couple minutes to go here until the second half tips off over in the Stroh Center. So while we are here, our final thoughts going into the second half. What do you want to see for Bowling Green if they want to come out on top here?
Well, I actually think Bowling Green's going to pull away late in this one, mainly thanks to Paige Kohler. She's hit 2 threes in the first half. I think she's going to feel confident in her shot going into the second half. And I think her, along with probably Taya Ellis and Janaea Donahue, are going to help the Falcons surge forward a little bit. I think they realize the stakes. I think they realize that this is sort of a must-win setup. And Western Michigan obviously is going to keep fighting, but I just think Bowling Green's shooting is going to improve.
Yeah, I mean, branching off of that, I think the Falcons really need to do a better job at scoring off of the turnovers that they're forcing. As we know, Janaea Donahue is very good at forcing steals. I mean, she already has 3 in this game. I expect more out of her. I think if they start capitalizing on these opportunities, they could pull away, just as Kevin was saying.
All right, well, that's going to do it here in the Colleen Center studio. Let's send it back out to the Stroh Center. Lucas and Carter, take it away.
Thank you, Sam. Thanks, Jacob. Thank you, Kevin. We are just about under a minute here to go before the start of the third quarter between Bowling Green and Western Michigan. 25-23 is your score here. Once again, Luce Climber, Carter Leonard alongside with you. Carter, I think on one hand, you can look at it and say, well, you held them to 8 points in the first quarter, and then you held them to 15 in the second, while you lost the second quarter 15-11. The flip side of that is I think there was a pretty big difference in terms of offensive production compared to the first and second quarter.
Yeah, I feel like once Bowling Green started to get into a groove in the first quarter, they think that they had the idea in their head that possibly they could shoot from anywhere around the court. Still only 9 of 28 from the field and 3 of 9 from the three-point line. So shooting-wise can always be a little bit better, but one thing that Bowling Green has really done a great job of is paint points as well, and that's mainly come from Taya Ellis. Of course, paint points has been 12 to 10 so far between both sides, but Taya Ellis so far the only Falcon in double digits, and she's also 9 points away from tying a season high that goes back to January 24th in the 65-64 loss against UMass.
Indeed. Bowling Green just 3 for 15 in that second quarter, 1 for 4 from 3. Second half, underway. Third quarter, back here in Bowling Green. Bowling Green going from right to left when you're ready to dial. Western Michigan will start going from left to right. They're going to get Janaea Donahue with her foul.
There was a lot of movement between what looked like to be a off-the-glass layup, but Donahue was able to get a hand on it, but it looks like it may have been a little bit too much right there.
They actually, they're tagging this one to Paige Kohler for her second. Kohler and Donahue are both there, so they'll give this one to Kohler. And the first one there from Starks is good, who didn't have the best first half offensively as we're used to seeing her do, but Bowling Green there still got to limit her. In the second half, they want to come with the win there. She's 2 for 2 there from the line. And for the first time since the opening tip-off, we are tied this game 25 apiece with 9:40 left to go here in the third quarter.
You mentioned it about Starks, only held to 2 points in that entire first half alone. And you want to talk about a player who averages 13 or more points a night for the Broncos. So great. That's a testament to how Bowling Green's defense has been so far tonight.
Jasmine Fern trying to put this one up there, was a bit short, no good, and here come the Broncos. Starks into the corner. Carlson here, long range 3, that one a bit wide to the left. Ellis fighting for the rebound, and that's a hard collision with Carlson and Ellis. And
physical, go ahead. Physical is definitely an understatement there, Lucas, but you'll have that when you have those one-on-one matchups inside the paint. You know, we mentioned before the size that Western Michigan is able to bring to the table, so you're going to have a little bit of physicality here and there.
So Kyle Woods will hand this one to Kohler. Kohler inside of Fern. Here's Fern. And off again, Kyle Woods. She'll dribble left there. Kyle Woods, that one a bit short and no good. Woods still looking for his first points in the contest.
Kai Woods so far 0 of 2 from the field with 1 rebound and 3 assists so far and 1 steal.
Mukaira hands off here. Starks dribbles left and goes right, and that one drops. And for the first time tonight, the Broncos have a lead with Starks 4 points here to start the second half. 27-25 Broncos.
And another interesting statistic about Starks, she's currently going into this game, she's currently 16th overall in the Mid-America Conference in overall scoring.
How about Jasmine Fern, though, off the pass from Kohler from the left wing. Jasmine Fern knocks it down. Bowling Green retakes it right back, 28-27. So it didn't last long. Fern, her first 3 of the game after getting another start from head coach Fred Shamil. So back and forth we go here. Mugaira for 3. That one a bit too strong. Wilkes there, outstretched rebound. Carlson now for 3. Got it. Nothing but net there from the right wing from Allie Carlson. 30-28, Broncos back on top.
You want to talk about a shot that sailed sky high right there. Just great height on that shot from Carlson.
Here Kai Woods drives. That one bounces in and out. It just hasn't been her night at all for Kai Woods. Now here's Carlson. Carlson feeds one side. Deanna Richardson, that pass there a bit too strong. Goes right to the hands of Kay Ochner. No, she's not playing anymore. She played in the early to mid 2000s. So that one couldn't get Mukaira, so it's a turnover there for Western Michigan.
But going back to Allie Carlson, that was actually her first points of the night as well. Before that, she was only 1 of 5 from the field and 0 of 3 from the three-point line.
Woods, this is the Kohler. How about that one? Paige Kohler with a defender in a hand right in front of her face. Knocks it down. Now Bowling Green on top again, 31-30.
And Kevin mentioned it during the halftime break, getting Paige Kohler more acclimated this second half. So far, so good.
Mukaira, that pass stolen there from Kohler. Here comes Kohler in the fast break, 2-on-2. Kohler doesn't need her. She takes it all herself and got it to go. 33-30, the lead extends to 3. Quick 5 points there in a matter of seconds for Paige Kohler.
Right, as I said it too, Lucas, the timing could not have been any more perfect.
Tied with Ellis now with a game high, 11 points. And they'll get a foul called here for Western Michigan.
Saw Carlson slam the ball there out of frustration because if you're Western Michigan in this part of the game, you know the situation. You know you're hanging tough with Bowling Green right here. You've gotten the lead a couple of times to start out the second half, but nothing really sustainable so far. So you don't want to let the frustration boil over.
Feet inside of Gherkin here. Ellis there with it, trying to hold on, and just couldn't do so. So we give this one here to Carlson. Still a 3-point lead for Bowling Green, 33-30. With 6:22 left here to go in the third quarter. Gherkin there still has that one there, trying to keep that one in play, and just couldn't do so. So it'll be Bronco ball. And it'll be Richardson to inbound. Carlson's had a lot of floor general duties here, especially here in the second half. And find the Bolds there as rejected from Gherkin. Into the hands of Woods. Woods on the fast break. That's a deep 3 from Kohler, and she rolls around and doesn't drop, but it's back in from Ellis, who puts it back up and in.
But that wide open 3 from Paige Kohler, you can only imagine a little bit of frustration for that, but thankfully Taya Ellis for the Bowling Green side of things able to get that offensive rebound and gain 2 instead of none.
13 points now for Ellis, game high, 35-30, 5:53. Timeout taken here on the floor. It'll be an immediate timeout. This timeout once again sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company. You can see the latest menu at juniperbrew.com. We'll take it with them. Bowling Green up by 5 here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Hey BG Falcon fans, you're here with Paige Kohler on the women's basketball team. These are my Falcon 4 favorite things about basketball. First off, I love competing. I love being able to win, and I love the winning feeling. Second, I love that it's a team sport. I love being out there with 4 other people on the court. Third, all the traveling that we get to do. I've been to so many new places because of basketball. And lastly, I love making new friends and just playing the sport I love with my best friends.
Falcons women's track heads north to Ann Arbor, Michigan for the Silverstone Invitational, hosted by the University of Michigan on Friday, February 20th. Check out the recap of the event by Falcon Media Sports Network's Brendan Mendoza on bgfalconmedia.com, your home for all BGSU athletics news and updates.
You are listening to Falcon Media Sports Network coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM in Bowling Green, Ohio. Check out more Falcon athletic coverage online at bgfalconmedia.com.
Back here at the Stroh Center, Bowling Green 35, Western Michigan 30. With 5:53 left to go here in the third quarter. Luis Kleinmeyer alongside Carl Leonard with you. And past minute or so, it was a stretch there from Paige Kohler, a 3, and then a transition basket off a steal. She almost had another 3 that kind of just rolled around and then somehow went down and then out. But then the putback there from Taya Ellis capples off what's been a good Bowling Green run here as of late.
Absolutely, and now Taya Ellis just 7 points away from tying her season high. She's also on double-double watch as well, currently leading the team with 8 rebounds. She only needs 2 more to earn that on the stat line for her tonight.
Western Michigan ball off this timeout, inbound here to Carlson. Carlson gets it out to the left wing. Now here's Starks. Starks here runs right into Donahue. That's not a place you want to run in at all. Carlson into the corner. That's a 3 from Mukaira. That one no good. Rebounding here from Bowles and put the shot there. Couldn't go, but she's fouled by Ellis.
Saw a little bit of double team action right there from Bowling Green as well with another near steal. So doing everything they can to make sure that Western Michigan doesn't make this a lot closer than it is right now.
Here's Bowles' first one from the line, and that one took 5 bounces off the back front iron and then rolled around the rim and then got the drop. So first one's good, 35-31. We cut down to 4, and now it's just a 4. Second one ricochets in and out. Rebound, though, however, from Starks. Mukaira. Here's Carlson. And in the corner, Starks again. Starks, Bowles. Starks again. 8 on the shot clock. Stark drives, kicks it outside. Richardson up and in. Back within 2. 35-33. A little help from the glass there from Richardson. Makes it a 1-score ball game.
And just good coordination from both Starks and Richardson right there. As soon as Starks got the double team right there, left Richardson wide open and for a nice off the glass shot.
Kohler feeds it inside Donahue. There's Donahue. Donahue spins, drives, puts it up and in. Tough shot there with a lot of contact, but Donahue got to go.
A little behind the back action right there from Donahue. Just a great shot, great eye coordination right there to lay it up and in.
Richardson takes a deep 3 right in front of Kaya Woods. Drained it, and now they're down within 1. So Western Michigan answers right back. 37-36, 4:32 left here in the third quarter. Here's Kohler. Goes left wing, now dribbles right. Kohler puts it up there and can't get that one to go, but she is fouled. Yeah, for the first time coming in this game is Kendall Moxie, but she'll be coming in right after this media timeout. This timeout is once again sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company. You can see this menu by visiting juniperbrew.com. We'll stick with them. Bowling Green 37, Western Michigan 36.
For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.
The morning show on WBGU FM is brought to you by the Bowling Green Chamber of Commerce. For more information, contact The Morning Show at themorningshow@bgchamber.net. Send them any programming suggestions or information you might have. They are always looking for show ideas and guests. To have your birthday or anniversary announced, email or call the Bowling Green Chamber of Commerce at 419-353-7945. The Morning Show on WBGU.
Ever heard of Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcasts on Falcon Radio or WBGU 88.1 FM but don't know where to listen? Well, set down the radio, pick up your phone, and go to bgfalconmedia.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to stream Falcon Radio and WBGU 88.1 FM for all broadcasts.
You are listening to Falcon Media Sports Network coverage live on 88.1 FM and streaming on bgfalconmedia.com.
Back here at the Stroh Center, we just saw, well, one of the things they do here in between one halftime or in between quarters, media timeouts, they like to do fun games where, you know, make a free throw, make a three-point line, hit a half-court shot, and then you get maybe a free gift card here. But we had a nice young fan, a nice little girl, hit a couple of shots there, and the crowd erupted, which is always nice to see.
Yeah, definitely nice to see. It always gets the fans acclimated as well to keep, you know, the on-court entertainment going, so to speak, in the Stroh Center. Forever, how long it's going to be here has always done a phenomenal job of that. You can always admire that.
Indeed. All right, okay, back to basketball. 37-36, Bowling Green's up by 1 over Western Michigan. We have 4:25 left here in the third quarter. And I think, just by the eye test, Carter, it's been better offensively for both these teams, but still obviously not what both sides probably wanted. But back and forth we go, and Western Michigan did a good job kind of starting out in the third quarter, coming back. But right now it's been a bunch of lead changes.
Exactly, and you know you can attribute that to the intensity really starting to pick up as you know the game starts to. Obviously, we still have another quarter to go, but as time continues to dwindle down, the intensity really starts to pick up. You know, you've seen a lot of rush shots, you've seen a lot of aggressiveness inside the paint from both sides. So both struggling to find any sort of breathing room whatsoever.
So Kohler was fouled right before that immediate timeout, so she has a couple of free throws coming up. The first one is good, so we get 38-36 Bowling Green. Kohler's second attempt is good. 2 for 2 there for Kohler. That puts her at tie with Ellis there with 13 on the night, 39-36. And that long pass looking there for Starks. Too strong out of bounds. That's just a sloppy offensive possession all around there for the Broncos.
It just went right through the hands of Starks right there, but there was a good chance even if she were to have received that pass, it was more than likely going to be out of bounds anyway, so just not great coordination from the Broncos.
Inside Moxie, her first piece of action. Moxie there on Wilkes there. Got the shot up, but she's fouled.
Looked like the shot also clipped the side of the backboard right there too. We've seen that a couple of times tonight from both sides.
Here's Moxie's first attempt here from the line. Getting the free throw a lot this season, Moxie. That first one is good.
Moxie shooting a little over 50% from the free throw line as well.
Yeah, the second one here for Moxie is off front iron, no good. So 40-36 is the score in favor of Bowling Green with 4 minutes to play here before start of the fourth quarter. Here Carlson dribbles left. Starks, Wilkes. Right corner here, Carlson again. Richardson, Carlson. Carlson drives, back out to Richardson again. Richardson. Starks here top of the key guard from Woods. Starks gets by Kai Woods, off glass there, too strong off balance. And rebounding here for Donahue. Here Kohler. Kohler drives off balance, left hand shot no good. Rebounding here, Moxie. Moxie puts this up, gets the basket, and the foul. And Bowling Green starting to pull away now a little bit.
Kendall Moxie, one of only 2 6'3" players on Bowling Green's roster alongside Jaden Cook. So being able to use that size in a situation like that to get that off the glass shot really paid dividends right there.
Moxie earned her first and so far only Division I collegiate start against Coastal Carolina. And that first one there from Moxie is off the mark. Rebounding here from Gherkin. That one loose ball on the floor. And it'll be Western Michigan ball. After that was Starks there on the ground trying to get that one. Mike got poked in the eye.
Looked like Gherkin may have had a chance to grab it there at the very last second, but Starks was able to hold on to it.
They'll say actually Falcon ball. Here's Kyle Woods. Woods feeds it up inside here to Woods. Here's Bland Fitzpatrick. Kohler left wing. Kohler screen set there from Moxie. Kohler drives outside Gherkin. Deep three, Lawrence Gherkin. A bit too strong there off the mark. And Bowles there. Went over the back there of Moxie. Should we call for the foul?
Starting to see a pattern of Moxie getting these defensive fouls right here, so should be interesting to see if that will be a continuing trend throughout the night as long as she's on the floor.
Here's Moxie. Another trip to the line for her. That one's good. She's made quite the impact now off the bench. That's Bowles by a third personal foul. Wilkes is 4, so she's 1 away from fouling out. Moxie goes 2 for 2 there from the line. 44-36, Bowling Green lead up by 8.
And Lucas, you mentioned coming off the bench. That's one thing that Bowling Green needed to do a lot better as the regular season comes to an end, is acclimate their bench a lot more, because you don't want to always rely on players like Kohler and like Ellis. Like, although they're able to create those big point separations, you can't always rely on them for all 4 quarters of the game.
Richardson just threw the ball out of bounds right to her coach character. She put the ball down in disgust. As Bowling Green came away with it, and they'll get an offensive foul on them. And it'll turn back over. A couple of turnovers, but 2:54 left here in the third quarter. 44-36 Bowling Green. And no travel called as Carlson in the corner. Harness for 3, and she knocks it down. And I think that was pretty obvious of a travel.
A little bit surprised that was not called right there.
Gherkin trying to answer for 3 of her own. That one's off the mark. Moxie gets it right back and got it up and in. 46-39. Here's Richardson. Harness after hitting that 3. Lead up still 7 for Bowling Green. Bold spins past Moxie, and that shot not even close.
Looks like Bolts may have just thrown it up there for good luck, almost it seems like, but just couldn't connect with anything, not even the rim.
So Bolds now will go to the line once again. 6 points for her so far in this one. This first one's good, make it 46-40. Western Michigan trying to climb back in this one. Western Bowling Green got a little bit of breathing room there momentarily, but it's been back and forth ever since the second half started. Bolds' second attempts in and out, but rebounded right to Richardson. Starks, Harness, Carlson, Richardson drives, feeds a great pass. Bolds up and in past Moxie. That's a fantastic pass from Harness.
You could not have drawn that up any better than that. Just a brilliant bounce pass. 2 Bolds right there for the layup.
46-42, Bowling Green lead up by 4. 1:43, Bland Fitzpatrick turns around jumper. That one, Noga gets her rebound back to Moxie. Moxie, that one a little bit too strong. Bland Fitzpatrick fighting for it. And one back here is Bolds. And here's Carlson. Now it's been a little Western Michigan run here. Carlson. Bolds again. Carlson gets it back. Kohler blocked out there from the screen from Bolds. And off here, Starks. Starks trying to put the shot up there, and they'll get Moxie for the foul.
For a little while there, Moxie was doing a great job of drawing fouls right there, and that time she was the cause of one right there.
So Moxie, Kohler, and Woods come out. Ellis, Gherkin, Donahue, Bland Fitzpatrick, Ellis are all on the floor for Bowling Green. Starks to now go to the free throw line. It's been a Western Michigan run here down the end here of this third quarter. That first one up from the line is good again from Starks. She now has 8. They get 46-43 with 1:14 left.
And you could somewhat hear the clapping of the hands of Kate Octor right there telling her team, we're still in this, as they're only down by 3.
Second one's off the mark as well. So the score will remain 46-43 after a 1-for-2 trip there from the line. 1:02 left here in the third quarter at the Stroh Center. Here comes Bowling Green. Donahue. Gherkin here left wing. Now dribbles here to inside. Kicks it out. Donahue here. Guarded here from Starks. Donahue drives right into the corner looking for Miller. They couldn't hold that one in as Shamil was right there as well. Almost got hit in the face with that ball. But it goes out of bounds and no points there for Bowling Green.
Looked like it was a little bit too far out in front of Miller right there. She really had to reach for that one. It just bounced off her right hand.
Carlson, long switch out. Harness, a chance to tie, and you betcha! Another 3 for Harness. That's her third triple of the game. 46 all with 35 seconds left here. Don't go anywhere, folks. We're going to tie game potentially, but a close one heading into the fourth quarter. Here's Kira Miller. About 10 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. The Falcons looking to answer right back. Miller, long switch in the corner. Gherkin has to stretch out and get it. Nice spin move, open shot there. Got to go. 48-46. 10 seconds left and counting. This is Brusick, who's just coming to the game trying to get this one. 3 seconds left. Carlson has to put a shot up here. The buzzer expires. That one goes up and no good. So no foul call there on Carlson. The Falcons survive heading into the fourth, up by 2, 48-46. Back and forth this one. We got a last third quarter of action coming up here at the Stroh Center. Listen to BGSU Women's Basketball right here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Be part of the WBGU team. Volunteer with WBGU FM in a variety of roles, including on-air, promotions, social media, music selection, and much more. Positions are always available to students and the local community. For more information, visit the WBGU Facebook page. Volunteer with Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM. The return to radio freedom.
Hi everyone, it's Erica Porter with Bowling Green Women's Basketball, and here's my Falcon 4 favorite activities off the court. I do like to go shopping, my free time. If I'm back home in New Jersey, I do love to go to New York City and go thrifting in like the Soho area. I do like hanging out with, my hometown friends. I could do literally absolutely nothing with them as long as I'm in their presence. I love it. And what would my last one be? Oh, being around my sister, because I don't see her a lot.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Check out bgfalconmedia.com for previews, recaps, photos, videos, and more of the Falcons.
Start the fourth quarter here at the Stroh Center. Bowling Green 48, Western Michigan 46. Lucas Clymer, Carletter alongside with you. Been a good one so far. Low scoring, defensive, definitely a lot more offensive output in the quarter we just watched there, Carter. But Bowling Green got to hold on, got to get this win. Knowing you need to get a win here to give yourself some breathing room you get that last MAC tournament spot.
Absolutely. And although Bowling Green is able to come away through 3 quarters with somewhat of a lead, they haven't really been pulling away that some would anticipate. And that's just accredited to Western Michigan trying to keep it a lot closer than it is right now. But you mentioned it, the third quarter definitely saw a little bit of a better display of offensive play from both sides of the ball, but Bowling Green still holding on.
Gurkin feeds this one inside Ellis. That one a little bit short there. She just bullies Bowles off the ball, but Bowles gets it right back. So 2 bigs going at it there for the orange and brown and for the brown and gold. Dribbles inside there. That one, this time that was Gurkin they'll get. That was Gurkin and Richardson. And they'll get Gurkin out here first. And Fred Shamil not happy about that call. Another chance here for the free throw line. Richardson hits her first, and if she hits the second one, we'll be tied at 48 apiece.
So far, the third leading scorer for Western Michigan tonight now ties it. All 3 of Richardson, Harness, and Bolts at 9 apiece, and now Richardson now the leading scorer for Western Michigan.
Richardson again got it. So we are tied. Tie ball game here with 9:15 left here in the fourth quarter. Bowling Green going from right to left on your radio dial. Western Michigan going from left to right. This feed inside. Gurkin to Donahue was last touch out from Kaylee Starks.
We've seen it a couple of times this half for Bowling Green where they try to create those high passes and try to get a layup inside on either side, but just a little bit too high of a pass and just a good defensive job from Western Michigan.
There's Bland Fitzpatrick to Kohler. Kohler puts this one up there past the contact and Carlson and got it to go. 50-48. Kohler now has a game high 15. Tay Ellis, by the way, is 1 rebound shy of a double-double. She has 13 points and 9 rebounds. There's Richardson. That's a deep 2 off back iron, and Ellis gets the rebound.
And that'll officially put Taya Ellis for a double-double on the night, as that's her 10th rebound overall.
Speaking of the devil, Ellis there drives in and out. Bowles gets the rebound. And that one just knocked away from behind there from Bland Fitzpatrick and then stolen right back to Carlson. I'll tell you what, that was a interesting 5 seconds.
It looked like Bolts didn't even see Bland Fitzpatrick come from behind, and Bland Fitzpatrick just saw an opportunity to try to take it away.
And how about a 3 there from Allie Carlson, big 3. And Kate Octor's fired up as the Broncos retake the lead, 51-50 with 8 minutes left. Kohler on Ellis. And they'll get a foul on Carlson. They said they pushed Ellis.
Definitely a decent amount of contact there between both Carlson and Ellis, and you can only anticipate that that's going to grow as we have a little under 8 minutes to play here.
So we call it inbound. At the Donahue. Fern. Core left wing. Gets out to Gurkin. Gurkin spin around jumper. That one a little bit short. It was definitely an interesting shot selection there. Carlson. Bolds. Deep 3 again. This is Carlson again, and she hits it once again. 9 points for her. Her third 3. 54-50. Western Michigan up by 4. Donahue right wing. Donahue drives. Got it! And the foul. Much needed there for Bowling Green as Donahue drove contact and can cut it down to 1 here.
You can only imagine what's going through the mind of Fred Schmiel right now as Western Michigan with a 4-point lead right there when it was 54-50. Just Western Michigan being given a lot of opportunities to keep it close, and they have done just that, including taking the lead. As Donahue heads to the line for her first free throws of the night.
Donahue got it. 3-point play is made, 54-53. The Broncos on top with 7:13 left here in this one. Carlson under some trouble. They get to Starks. Starks blows by Kohler. Starks puts it up there, blocked there from Gurkin. Good timing there on the block. Donahue gives it back to Kyle Woods. Woods lays it up and in. Her first points of the game. And it comes at an important time as Bowling Green retakes the lead, 55-54. Harness. Bolds again. Here's Richardson. Inside there, driven inside on Kohler. And look at this one on start, so an offensive foul. And Kohler did a good job there, just sticking her ground.
That's what you got to do in these tight situations. You got to force Western Michigan into those mistakes of, committing turnovers, whether it's passing the ball out of bounds, committing offensive fouls. So good awareness from Bowling Green so far.
Kohler gives it to Woods, 55-54. Woods drives, puts it up as blocked. And it's going to be Bronco ball.
Looked like Kyle Woods was trying to plead her case right there. We saw a lot of hands moving around there for the ball right there. So, but of course the ref had a better angle than we did right here.
And Jasmine Fern will come out as Blaine Fitzpatrick comes back in. You have Blaine Fitzpatrick, Woods, Donahue, Kirkin, and Kohler on the floor for Bowling Green. Richardson inbounds this one to Carlson. A little bit of press being provided here for the Orange and Brown. Carlson. Richardson. Harness. Harness to Bolds. Bolds now drives on Gherkin. Bolds lost it, and it goes out of bounds. Falcon ball.
You mentioned the full court press really starting to be activated now from what it seems like from both sides as time is of the essence here in this game, as it's only still a 1-point game, and you can only anticipate it growing as time continues to dwindle down.
There's Woods. Woods drives to Fern. Fern, drop off to Woods. Woods hands out the Kohler, now Fern top of the key. Left side, Donahue. Hand off again here to Donahue in the corner. Kyle Woods, 3 from the Falcon bench. That one a bit too strong. Rebounded there and stolen away by guess who? It's Donahue, and she is rejected by Richardson.
Donahue looked like she thought she might have had an easy off the glass shot right there, but Richardson with a big block right there and keeping them at bay.
And down here, Gherkin. Here's Kyle Woods. Fern, open 3, Jasmine Fern! One of the biggest threes of the season, you may say. 58-54, it's a 2-possession game.
And her second three-pointer made of the night as well for Jasmine Fern.
Bolds. Here's Carlson. Carlson. Lukaira in some trouble, gets to the Bolds. Carlson outside, Harness for 3. And over the backboard. They got the look they wanted there, just a bit too strong.
One thing that Fred Schmiel is definitely really going to put emphasis on is those wide open shots. We've kind of seen that a lot more from Western Michigan, where they're able to create that separation on the floor and are able to get those wide open looks. So definitely going to have to do a better job of that if you're on the BG side of things.
Woods, Fern, how about another off front iron? Richardson there, no uncontested there with that rebound. Carlson, still 58-54, 4:45 left here in the fourth quarter. Richardson feeds it outside. Richardson again, open 3, and she's got it. Her third 3 of the contest, 13 points for her, team high. They lead down the 1, 58-57. Falcons still prevail.
You can see that the three-point energy has definitely been at an all-time high in this game at least. So
you know how big this game is going to be for the MAC tournament applicants if Bowling Green come with a win or if they lose. With the remaining 4 games of the regular season, including Toledo this Saturday. Kohler guarded heavily by Harness. The shot expiring. The shot no good. Wilkes fighting for the rebound. And it's Bronco ball. And that was some really good defense there on Paige Kohler. Without Carlson not letting her any breathing room. That'll lead us to our fourth and final media timeout. This timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company. You can see this menu by visiting juniperbrew.com. Bowling Green up by 1, 58-57. Listen to BGSU Women's Basketball right here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Northwest Ohio's community radio station is looking for new volunteers just like you. Join our team of enthusiastic volunteers that help make WBGU 88.1 FM a success. You can get involved in many ways, including on air, behind the scenes, or at promotional events in the local community. WBGU is Northwest Ohio's community radio station. Visit our social media pages for more information.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X. Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
You are listening to Falcon basketball coverage live on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Back here at the Stroh Center, 3:54 left in this one. Bowling Green's up by 1, 58-57. This by Mark Carter Leonard alongside with you. And Carter, we can't overly stress just how important this one is. If Bowling Green's taking a 5-8 in Mid-American Conference by Western Michigan, obviously 3-9. And then their Mac German hopes have been slighted, and then they're definitely on the outside looking in. Bowling Green, though, has that 8th spot. Eastern Michigan, though, right behind them. Eastern Michigan is in action as well. If you get a win, you go 6-8, and you have 3 teams that are up next that you all lost to at the start of the year. But never say never. You do have a tough stretch to end the year. But if you lose and go to 5-9, you make it a lot tougher for you.
Exactly, but it all starts right here with just 3:54 left. You know, you have a chance to have that result in your favor going into those next 3 games, but it's going to be easier said than done for the Falcons, as Western Michigan has definitely made a game out of this tonight, despite their last few games not going in their favor.
Mugaira, a little bit of press being provided here for bowling out this timeout. Carlson gets it back. Carlson still looking for an option. Richardson, Harness. 10 now on the shot clock. Left wing. 3 now, shot clock. Carlson gets by Kai Woods. Carlson puts it up. They're no good. Wilkes. And the shot clock expired before Wilkes got that rebound. So good stop there for the Falcons.
Yeah, you definitely needed those defensive stops. You need as much breathing room as you possibly can. But Western Michigan has definitely found a way to eat into Bowling Green's leads tonight and prevent them from really pulling away, as that's been the common theme tonight.
Woods inside here, Gherkin. Gherkin handoff here, Donahue. Donahue in the corner, Kaya Woods for 3. Bit too strong there. Wilkes gets the rebound.
That's twice now for Kaya Woods in this quarter alone that she's had those far corner threes, but just can't get it to connect.
Here's Carlson, under 3 minutes to play here. Still 58-57 Falcons. Woods there knocking that one out of bounds. So it'll still be Bronco ball with 15 on the shot clock. Carlson looking for an option. Donahue got a tip to that initially. Mugaira gets it right back. Harness on Bland Fitzpatrick. Richardson in the corner. Carlson for three, a bit short, right in the hands of Bland Fitzpatrick. Another big stop there for the Falcons.
I feel like we've seen a lot of multiple air ball shots tonight from both sides of the ball, and you can only imagine the frustration of that sort of thing happening, because you want those shots to connect, because you want to pull away from each other, but just unfortunate.
Donahue drives, kicks it out in the corner. Kaya Woods again for three. Bit too strong. And right to the hands of Mukaira. Got 2:05 left to hear Mukaira. And a timeout taken here from Coach Octor. And a timeout needed. And I do believe this will be just a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay right here. But once again, this timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company. You see this menu by visiting juniperbrew.com. Thoughts, go.
I definitely think for the Falcons, your sweet spot when it comes to shooting is not definitely the free throw line right now. So far in this fourth quarter, they're only 1 of 5 from the three-point line. So you definitely want to try to get those mid-range shots going as much as possible, get inside the paint a lot more, as that's been what's been really giving Bowling Green the lead. We've been seeing Taya Ellis tonight. Lauren Gherkin has had a few shots in there as well. Paige Kohler, so definitely try to find your sweet spot, try to find your rhythm inside there. But three-point shooting, not just for Bowling Green, but for both sides as well. Western Michigan not doing that much better, only 3 of 5, but just three-point shooting so far in this quarter has definitely not been where it needs to be.
It hasn't, as Western Michigan comes out with it. With 2 minutes left and counting, still 58-57. Richardson, Starks, Carlson, Shamil wanted a travel called. And instead they'll get a foul here on the Falcons.
We saw Lucas Fred Shamil jumping off the ground right there, really wanting that call, and goodness gracious.
Richardson, Carlson, here Starks to the right wing. Carlson feeds it inside. Richardson, Bland Fitzpatrick sights it away. A big steal from Bland Fitzpatrick. Here she goes the other way, puts it up and in. Defense and offense, Bland Fitzpatrick gives Bowling Green a 3-point lead, 60-57, with 1:30 left. And this crowd getting into it here at the Stroh Center. Carlson, Wilkes, Starks again. Starks drives. Gherkin with a block, and they're going to get a foul. Oh, wow.
Oh, you can just tell by the face of Gherkin right there. Looked like she setting up for the block. It looked fantastic on the side of Lauren Gherkin, but you could tell right at the end there, her face kind of grimacing, just saying, oh my goodness, I can't believe that happened. But still a great defensive effort from Gherkin and the Falcons.
So 2 huge free throws coming up here for Starks with 1:16 left. 60-57. Starks' first one, nothing but net. Make it 60-58.
And make it 4 of 5 from the free throw line tonight from Starks. Being held to just under 10 points so far.
Starks again, rolls around. Back to a 1-point lead for Bowling Green. 60-59, 1:15 left. Gotta love it. Those are the moments you live for if you're either team, but Bowling Green trying to hang on. Donahue drives, puts a shot up, and she's fouled.
And these are moments where, although you only have 1:01 left on the clock, you don't want to rush any, shots or anything like that. You don't want to rush. You kind of want to pace the floor almost. You want to take control and be smart with it. You don't want to commit any turnovers with only a 1-point advantage, but it's in the hands of Bowling Green as of right now.
So Donahue here, a couple of big free throws for her now coming up with 1:01 left. First one, got it.
Right here, free throws are definitely going to be as crucial as they have been tonight so far.
61-59, Donahue again, second attempt, got it. Back up to a 3-point lead. 62-59. Feeds this one out. Here's Carlson. 1 minute left. Does Western Michigan have one more three and then to tie this one? Do we have overtime basketball coming up, or can Bowling Green seal this one out? Starks putting this one up, and it goes in through the contact. And timeout quickly taken there for Fred Shamil. Zochner's fired up. So 47.3 seconds left. It's a 1-point ball game, 62-61. Falcons up by 1. Bowling Green. This will be a full timeout. Once again, the timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company. You can see this menu by visiting juniperbrew.com. We'll stay right here. Carter?
What can you say that hasn't already been said about the energy in the Stroh Center so far? Everybody, almost decent amount of people are on their feet so far with 47.3 to go. And, all you can really say is that this has really been a neck-and-neck fight throughout the entire way. You got to admire the effort from both squads, being able to keep themselves in it and not let one or another pull away from each other, as that's been the common theme of tonight.
Bowling Green, 36% shooting from the field. Western Michigan, 43%. Three ball has been kind of inconsistent, but for Western Michigan, 10 for 25. They definitely found their rhythm in the second half with it.
And one thing before Western Michigan cut it down to one part that I was going to bring up when it was still 62-59 is, although three-point shooting has been a little bit of a struggle, you don't want to leave anybody on the outside open, especially Allie Carlson. There have been a couple times tonight where Carlson has hit those big shots, and there is absolutely no Falcon around her, so you definitely don't want to leave those opportunities up on the board with so little time remaining.
Kirkin feeds us inside Kohler. Kohler, 42 seconds left. Bowling Green up by 1. Kohler heavily guarded here with Carlson. It's a big possession here. Fern in the left wing here, Donahue. Kohler. Guard from Carlson, down to 9 seconds now. Kohler drives inside. Kohler puts it up there, no foul. Western Michigan gets it. Timeout taken here for the Broncos. So with 22 seconds left on the dot, Western Michigan gets the ball back and has a chance to possibly win it.
And you kind of saw on the foul right there, looks like Kohler just got a little bit of an elbow in there, and we've seen Kohler before drive it in, and she's able to make it connect, but just right there she got caught with a little bit of an elbow action right there. So, but yeah, you mentioned it, able to take the lead here with just exactly 22 seconds left. And as I just mentioned, you can't leave anything wide open on the table for Western Michigan, because if you give them a little inch of breathing room, there's a good chance they can take it a long way right here, as they've shown a few times tonight, as they've had multiple chances at the lead. But Fred Schmiel and the group able to stay in it 100%. So it'll be interesting, Lucas, to see how it all comes down here. And you mentioned the possibility of overtime. That's still very much on the table. But we'll just have to wait and see.
It definitely is. And I wouldn't have been surprised if Kohler was trying to draw a foul there. I mean, Carlson was draped all over her a lot, but the refs have been pretty consistent here down the stretch in terms of the physical play. They're not really giving anything too light. But the Falcons have had good defensive stops here down the stretch here, and we'll see what happens here. If Western Michigan doesn't get it here, you imagine a quick foul and a couple free throws coming up for Bowling Green.
At that point, you almost have to. You try to do anything that you possibly can to stop the clock, even if it means Bowling Green going to the free throw line, which they have had a really solid night so far. 12 of 15 from the free throw line as well.
Lukaira to inbound here for the Broncos with 22 seconds left. Stolen right away, straight to Donahue. My goodness. Donahue was right there, almost hiding right behind her. Got it, and Donahue was originally immediately fouled.
If you want a definition of instantaneous and quick, Jonea Donahue right there for the taking.
I mean, that was pretty much anticlimactic. You thought we were going to have something here. It was a quick inbound, and Donahue was right there. Stole that right away from a Bronco. Richardson immediately went holding her head.
And for the side of Western Michigan, you try to do everything possibly right to stay in it. And it's still 19.5 left on the clock, so there is still a little bit of time to gain some sort of lead, but again, you can't make those crucial mistakes late in the going like that. But I don't even know if Western Michigan anticipated Jonea Donahue approaching that quickly. So just once again, a phenomenal job from Donahue, who just, when it comes to the steals record in the regular season, she inches closer to that milestone each and every game that she steps foot on the court.
10 points, 6 rebounds, 6 steals for Donahue. Donahue gets this one. Donahue drives, and she is fouled. So they can make it a 3-point lead.
But even then, that's still what you wouldn't consider to be a comfortable lead, because if Donahue makes these 2 free throws at the line right here, Western Michigan goes down quickly and is able to get a quick 3 bucket, then that changes the whole complexity of this game right here.
So at best, we'll see what happens here, but if Donahue makes these 2, the Broncos can just tie and send us to overtime. First one from Donahue, got it. 63-61, and this is the all-important one. Here's Donahue's second. And it got a couple of favorable bounces there. You held your breath for half a second, but got that one to drop, 64-61. And I don't know if might have been some shoving after the play or not, but 64-61, timeout obviously Western Michigan, and now you draw up a play here to hit a 3 and probably send to overtime.
It's definitely possible, with only 17.7 left, but you can only imagine that Bowling Green in this sequence right here is going to play that full court press defense, and you don't want to cause any sort of fouls or anything like that, so you want to play that full court press, but try to keep the contact as minimal and legal as possible to not create any more opportunities for Western Michigan to tie this game up. But 17.7 seconds in the real world, Lucas, may not seem like a lot of time, but
a lot of time in basketball.
And basketball, it almost sounds like an eternity. So
yep.
We'll see what kind of opportunity that Western gets right here, but definitely a crucial part of the game.
And down to Harness, and they're going to get a quick foul here on the Falcon, and it'll be on Kaya Woods. So they'll meet here. And Shamil's thinking about putting Gherkin in. So they'll re-huddle. And they're looking at the clock. Make sure the clock is right.
The clock did move a little bit from 17.7 to 16.9.
Regardless for Bowling Green, if you can hang on to this one, it'd be one of the biggest wins down the stretch, because, as I mentioned, if you lose to go to 5-9, you lose a tiebreaker with Eastern, which you already have after that loss in the second MAC game of the season. Then you would lose the second to Western Michigan, who would go to 4-9, and it would only be one behind you. Every game matters here down the stretch, and like Shamil said a couple press conferences ago, they're fighting like you know what to get into this dance. And it's been nothing but easy.
Definitely nothing but easy, and that's what makes games like this very compelling and very exciting to watch from the fan perspective, because you see these players throw everything possibly on the line, because one loss could really change the complexity down the stretch of getting to the tournament. And as we mentioned before, Bowling Green sitting on that 8th spot, definitely the farthest thing from a comfortable spot. So you do everything you can to make sure that you stay in the fight 100%.
So they reset the game clock to 17.7. So Carlson will go to the free throw line after that quick foul. So it looks like we got a bunch of free throws here coming up here down the stretch. Carlson's first, nothing but net. 64-62. Here's Carlson's second. Got it. 64-63 with 17.7 seconds left. Another timeout that is once again sponsored by Juniper Brew Company. You see this menu at juniperbrew.com. So it'll be Falcon ball, and looks like we'll have a couple of free throws coming up. And right now for Western Michigan, you're banking on Falcons hitting 1 and 2. Because right now, if you inbound and you foul BG and they get to the line and get 2, you still have a chance to tie the game with a 3. It looks like it's probably going to do this back and forth to the very end.
Yeah, definitely. And in games like this, we talked a little bit about, I brought up a little bit about it earlier about the clock feeling like almost like an endless internal, time span. And again, if that sequence does happen where you draw a quick foul and you get Bowling Green to the line for 2, it's still not a comfortable spot if you're the Falcons because you're only up by 3. And if the clock continues to stop and they still have enough time for a fast break to get down the court and draw up a 3, then it could be a very dangerous situation for Fred Schmiel in the group.
Kohler inbound trying to swing the Donahue. It was a kickball from Bolds. So Kohler will inbound this one once again. Here's Kohler. And off to Donahue. And they'll foul Donahue. He's got 12 points. She was wrapped up there from a couple Broncos and still have a couple chances once again here from the free throw line. As Ellis and Bland Fitzpatrick will come in.
So far, Donahue tonight has been perfect on the free throw line at 5 for 5, along with 12 points, 3 of 9 from the field, 1 3-pointer, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 6 steals as well.
Here's Donahue's first. Got it. 65-63 now. And he can make it once again a 3-point lead with this free throw. Donahue again. Got it. 66-63, 16 seconds left. Mugaira. Here come the Broncos. 10 seconds left. Mugaira kicks it out. Richardson for 3. Short. Kohler gets it, and she's fouled. And Bowling Green's going to all but likely come away here with their 6th MAC win of the season.
And for the case of Richardson right there, it was a good look from almost at the top of the key right there, but just couldn't get it to the fall. It just drifted off to the left side, right there, and just not the best shot that she could have hoped for right there with only 5.4 left.
Kohler's first one is no good. So 5.4 seconds left. If she makes this one, it's still a 2-possession game. If not, Western Michigan still's got a chance. And she got it. 67-63. Here's Carlson. Carlson putting this one into his tip from Bland Fitzpatrick. That's how this one's going to finish. Bowling Green victorious as they go to 6-8 in MAC play. 67-63, the Falcons take down the Broncos.
Just a great job from the Falcons holding on to the last minute there. It wasn't a pretty victory by any stretch of the imagination, but one that Coach Fred Schmiel and the entire Falcon group love to have as the regular season is now down to just 3 games moving forward. So big win for the Falcons here tonight.
We'll take a quick step aside, and when we come back, we'll be joined by assistant coach Katie Hempfling shortly, and our BG Falcon Media Food and Drink Guide player of the game, Taya Ellis. You're listening to BGSU Women's Basketball right here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
You could listen to WBGU 88.1 FM, or you could be part of the action. Volunteer with WBGU FM in a variety of roles, including on-air, promotions, social media, music selection, and much more. Positions are always available to students and the local community. For more information, visit the WBGU Facebook page. Volunteer with Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM. The return to radio freedom.
Miss a BGSU sports broadcast? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to listen to past calls by Falcon Media Sports Network.
Ever heard of Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcast on Falcon Radio or WBGU 88.1 FM but don't know where to listen? Well, set down the radio, pick up your phone, and go to bgfalconmedia.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to stream Falcon Radio and WBGU 88.1 FM for all broadcasts.
On September 13th, BGSU men's soccer's Bennett Painter scored the game-winning goal against Northern Illinois, leading to the team getting nationally ranked. Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer had the call on the WBGU PBS YouTube channel.
Gonna win that one initially. Head up again. Wins his second one, however. All right, Sam, we're back. All right, we're now joined by assistant coach Katie Hemsley. Coach, congrats on the win. Obviously, that one down the stretch there went back and forth. Just your overall thoughts on this one.
I'm just really proud of our fight. I'm really proud of, how we really fought back and, stayed together. I think we played well together. Offensively, I would say it wasn't our best night, but, we locked down on defense and really took care of business. Especially, got to give big props to Nay at the end. That big deflection and steal, that was huge for us. And, and then us being able to knock down free throws when it mattered as well.
Yeah, I was just about to talk about Nay. Down the stretch, that kind of clutch performances, when you need it, in moments where you need it. But Taya Ellis, double-double, just kind of talk about her performance tonight.
I'm really proud of her perseverance and, playing inside. And she stayed with it and she was consistent. We just need her to continue to stay consistent because she's a big offensive powerhouse on the board. So, that getting us second opportunities is so important, especially for games like this. But we know it's going to be a dogfight.
Yeah, how big was this one in just the context of, 4 games left. You got Toledo obviously Saturday, Ohio, Central Michigan, tough teams that had, tough games earlier in the season. How big was this one just knowing what's to come down the stretch and knowing that you're still just trying to fight in and get some room in the MAC tournament?
Oh, it's huge. Every win from here on out is huge for us. And every game here on out matters. And so I think that's the sort of discipline and kind of preparation that we have going into games from here on out, especially and leading up to this game. It feels different. And so, every game we have to come prepared. We know we're going to get other people's best, so we have to be able to give our best every single night, night in, night out.
Yeah. Well, Coach, last one. Obviously, we know who's coming to town on Saturday. Do you have any words for the Falcon faithful before we sign off?
I'm really excited. I think it's going to be, another dogfight. When is it not in the MAC, but especially rivalry day. Come out, support us. It's an orange wave. It'll be a really great game, and have fun. And we're going to put on a show for you, hopefully, on Saturday.
Perfect. Well, Coach, congrats on the win, and as always, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
When we come back, we'll turn it back over to Sam Bork, Kevin Hutchinson, and Jacob Kopes in the studio. And one final time, we'll be joined by our BG Falcon Media Food and Drink Guy, player of the game, Taya Ellis. Listen to the post-game show right here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Welcome back to the WBGU 88.1 FM studio. Sam Bork here with Jacob Kopes and Kevin Hutchinson. Guys, what a game we witnessed. Back and forth throughout the entirety of this game, but Bowling Green able to come away with the win, 67-63 over Western Michigan. What were your guys' thoughts on that game?
Yeah, definitely a crucial win for a Falcon team that needed one, pulling this game out in the final minutes. It was close really throughout the entire game. My prediction that BG was going to really pull away in the fourth quarter didn't end up coming true. It was a thriller even till the last 30 seconds, but just a crucial win, very big for the program going into these final 4 weeks, or 4 games, sorry.
Yeah, I agree. This was probably one of the most exhilarating matchups of the season for the Falcons. And, it was a very close game. We knew it would be one of those going into it. A little bit more scoring than we thought, maybe, but it was still a very entertaining game, and the Falcons came out on top, which is always a great thing.
Yeah, for sure. And, I think just that late steal by Janaea Donahue, she had 6 on the day, but that late steal on the inbounds pass to sort of not necessarily seal the Falcon victory, but to help it along. She ended up making both of those free throws to help BG pull ahead by 3. Just really a clutch play by her, and that's what you need. You need clutch plays by your star players late in games, and she displayed that tonight.
Yeah, and she had a great second half, just like we expected her to. 11 points in that half, finishing with 14 points. A lot of those coming from the free throw line. Obviously, in that late game scenario, she went a perfect 7 for 7 from the free throw line. So you talk about clutch play, and she definitely stepped up in that fourth quarter. And now setting her up only 3 steals away from the all-time record. She could hit that against Toledo in the Battle of I-75. So that will certainly be a really milestone day to even add to, obviously the big game being the Battle of I-75. So we have our player of the game, obviously Taya Ellis, finishing with a double-double, 13 and 10, a little bit quiet scoring-wise in that second half, but that big first half from her was really the reason why they were able to, have this lead and, be able to pull away when Western Michigan was trying to fight back.
Yeah, I mean, Taya Ellis, that first half really set the foundation for the Falcons to move off of. I mean, even when she cooled down going into the second half, you had more players step up, like Paige Kohler and Donahue. I mean, they both really elevated their games once it got to the second half, and that allowed, the players like Taya Ellis to not cool off, but maybe do some more aspects of the game that aren't just strictly scoring. And it just allowed them to move the ball around and get more people with better points.
Yeah, for sure. The Falcons having 3 double-digit scorers today, that's something I believe you talked about pregame being a key for Bowling Green, and that did end up materializing. Really, these are just the close games in the MAC. You need some of these games to break your way, especially down the stretch. We've seen that now BG manages to be above 500 once again, and that's going to be crucial. The Battle of I-75 coming up next, so a lot of storylines going into that.
Yeah, getting their 6th win in the conference now, giving them a little breathing space, especially with what's been going on around the MAC in women's college basketball. Akron ended up beating Ohio in 2 overtimes, 108-105, a massive victory for Akron. And now you look at Akron, they're still in the race for that 8th seed in the conference tournament. They're now 4-9 in the conference, and Kent State now Bowling Green jumps Kent State, but they are coming down to the wire. Only a 1-point lead for them with 14 seconds left in the fourth over Northern Illinois, 67-66. So we're going to be watching that as that goes final, but. Yeah, you look at, obviously, a huge win, a much-needed win for this Bowling Green Falcons team. And now, as you look towards Toledo, that's going to be, obviously, a huge matchup, especially with Toledo coming off a big win over Massachusetts, who is 3rd in the MAC. What are you excited for about that game?
What can you say? It's the Battle I-75. It's always an exciting matchup when you got Bowling Green versus Toledo, no matter the sport. But specifically with women's basketball, you've got both programs coming off, I would say, a little bit of statement wins, proving that they still have something to fight for the rest of the season. And it's going to be a true battle of pride. You're going to see Toledo, they're going to want to come in here, ruin the Bowling Green dreams, but BG is going to want to continue protecting the Stro and hopefully get an 11th win on the season at home.
For sure, and it's going to be really huge for BG because after the Battle of I-75, the Falcons are going to go on a 2-game road trip, first to Athens to take on Ohio and then up to Mount Pleasant to take on Central Michigan. So getting a win at home is going to be essential. The Falcons are going to be at home again in their last game against Northern Illinois on March 7th. But you do want to try to take advantage of those opportunities at home. And as you said, rivalry games usually tend to bring out the best in both teams. Both teams tend to kind of play over their heads a little bit. And I think that's going to make it a really entertaining matchup.
And no doubt they will have in their minds that they want revenge against the Toledo Rockets, just like the men's basketball team was able to do. They both lost in Savage Arena the first time around, And we saw just last week on Valentine's Day, the men's team getting the win, a huge win over Toledo. So hopefully the Falcons women's team will be able to match that success. So keep tuned into Saturday, because that will be a massive game. So looking, yeah. So Western Michigan, I mean, this, like we said, it's such a back and forth game. Bowling Green's only largest lead was 8 points, and you had 6 different lead changes for both teams. Western Michigan, they came out in that first quarter 0 for 6 from 3. They really struggled, but then after that, they really found their rhythm, found their footing from 3. You had 3 of 7 in the second half, 4 and 7 in the third, and then 3 and 7 in the fourth, finishing 37% from 3, and the Falcons finishing 31.6 from 3. So, the Falcons kind of had a bit of a struggle shooting-wise, 22 and 60 from the field, but obviously you love to see that despite the struggles, they were still able to come out with the victory.
Yeah, for sure. That's just crucial, to be able to finish out 4 quarters of basketball is really, really essential. And, Western Michigan, they had a decent game, scored well above their average. They've averaged 56 points a game. They scored 63. So I think that's a good note for them. And they had some good performances. We talked about Kaylee Starks before this game. She had 11 points on the day. Also, Deanna Richardson finishing with 13 points. And then you had Ariana Wilkes leading the team in rebounds.
All right, so we have Lucas Kleinmeyer now joined by Falcon Media Sports Network's player of the game, Taya Ellis. So we'll send it out there to Lucas. Take it away.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sam. We are now joined by Taya Ellis one final time at the Stroh Center. Bowling Green once again victorious over Western Michigan. Taya, thanks for joining us. Big game for you, double-double. Just take us through the result of this one.
I'll say our team just had a big focus on.
Gotcha. There you go.
Our team had a big focus on helping the helper, and for me, I felt like I need to be more aggressive, getting the rebounds, and finishing under the rim, because I feel like sometimes I shy away, but today was the day where I was like, I got to get that bucket. I need that rebound. I need that hustle play, along with Nay with her steals, and that big steal in the end to seal the game for us and get them free throws, so that was a big play from her.
Well, didn't be too hard and stuff. 13 points, 10 rebounds, still double-double, but, I thought it was a very back-and-forth game, you're right. But at the same time, you guys led for 35 minutes of the game. I mean, Western Michigan only led for about 2 minutes. Kind of talk about how important that was to not only come out with the lead, a fast start, but also to keep your foot on the gas, keep a lead at the same time. Because Western Michigan kept coming back. They kept coming into lead. It wasn't a blowout by any stretch of imagination. It was kind of back and forth.
Yeah, it was definitely a big back-and-forth game. We just had that extra grit we needed to keep that lead and to get the dub today. So I'm proud of my team for all working together. The bench players coming on, putting in some good minutes and doing what we needed to do to get this dub today.
Yeah. You mentioned Nay, how, just talk about, her performance today, but also just how big that clutch steal was down the stretch. You thought it was going to come down to one big final stop, and they put the ball in for about a second, and they just quickly took away for a steal to pretty much end the game almost.
Right. No, that was a big steal because I seen what they were going to do. They were about to throw it in, and I was going to be in help. So I'm like, oh, my gosh. She got that steal. I'm like, yes. Because she has some great defense, good hands. She's quick. You're not going to see her coming. She's going to steal that ball right from you.
Yep, quick indeed. Final one, Tig, how big was just the win, knowing because Saturday, obviously, Toledo and, down the stretch, Toledo, Ohio, Central Michigan, teams that you guys played earlier this year, and they were very tough, tough games. How big was this win, knowing that Final Four games down the stretch, what's to come, and also just trying to get some breather room to get not only into the MAC tournament, but also won those last couple spots?
Yeah, this was a very big dub. I'm glad we got it today just to bring in the momentum for Saturday against Toledo and the next coming games, because we're still trying to clinch that spot into the MAC tournament, which I know for sure we can make it there. We just got to continue playing the same way we did today and work hard every single day.
Well, Tay, congrats on the performance and congrats on the win, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yep. Send it back over to you guys in the studio, Sam, Kevin, and Jacob. Thank you so much here. Final score here from the Stroh Center. Bowling Green victorious 67-63 over the Broncos.
All right, thank you, Lucas, and that's going to pretty much wrap it up here for the Falcon Media Sports Network post-game show. Like Lucas said, 67-63, Falcons are able to come away with a win to keep their MAC tournament hopes alive. So I want to thank Jacob Kopaz and Kevin Hutchison for joining me here in the studio tonight. Some great discussions here, and we will be signing off here. Hope everybody has a good night, and I Ziggy.